welcome to today's Goal Line Blitz 2 live streams. At the 1 o'clock hour, we have a triple header from the pro tier. We are going to that all have all three games, have playoff implications. We have the 6-4 Cornhuskers at the 6-4 Bay Area's best builds. We have 8-2 House Party at 6-4 Screaming Red Devils, and we have 10-0 the program at 6-4 Day Shift Strippers. If we look at before the games begin, if we go to Dragon League, here we can see that program has a 2-game lead in the Alpha Division. The program has a 2-game lead on House Party. So, and we have, let's see, so we have 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this. I think we still have, including this week, I think we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 league games left. Okay. So House Party could still conceivably win the Alpha Division, but for the playoffs would start right now, they would be the wild card. The program would be the number 1 team, right? But where there are 4 games left, they at 6-4 Day Shift Strippers, Nebraska Cornhuskers, and Screaming Red Devils and Babs are all at 6-4. So there is a fight for the wild card. Actually, Gamma Division is still wide open between Bay Area's best and Screaming Red Devils, and so we should look forward to seeing some good games here. And with that, we should be able to let me make sure. Okay. Start watching the games. We will begin with the program versus Day Shift Strippers. Day Shift Strippers, a much improved side this season. This pro in the off season, they collaborated with Babs to improve both teams. So here we go. On first down, dropping back the pass, Joe Kane finds his halfback, Darnell Jefferson, for an 8-yard gain to bring up 2nd down and 2. On 2nd down, they're going to run off tackle with Darnell for 2 yards, and it would appear that they'll just be inches shy of the first down. Going to run up the middle, but Darnell Jefferson gets tackled behind the yard line, behind the line of scrimmage for a 1-yard loss. Nice stop on the program's first possession. Good defense, Day Shift Strippers. So the program will punt, and we will see the Strippers on offense for the first time. The program should win this game, but saying that the Strippers do have major upset potential. So let's see. First down. Strippers run up the middle with their halfback Emmanuel Quinones for a 3-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, they will drop back to pass and find wide receiver Tomax Paoli for 14 yards and a first down. Back to the ground on first down. A 4-yard run by halfback Emmanuel Quinones, bringing up 2nd and 6. Going to run off tackle and pick up 4 yards. Halfback Howard the Duck, 4-yard gain. Going to set up 3rd and 2. Going to try to run up the middle against the middle overload. It's not a 1-yard loss, but it's not a 2-yard gain either. So it looks like after getting a first down, the Strippers will have to punt the ball back to the program. So after this punt, we will go to our second of the 3 games and look at the Screaming Red Devils versus House Party. House Party will get the ball first. On this one, I give the advantage to House Party. Screaming Red Devils did a little bit of restructuring themselves over the off season, but I think that House Party is, both teams are well staffed, well coached. I think that House Party has a superstar advantage. So here we go on first down, running the ball with their superstar halfback, Rough Draft 3.0, for 12 yards and a first down. Sticking on the ground, trying to go up the middle. Rough Draft is met for a 2-yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 12. Still on the ground, a counter. Oh, a missed tackle in the backfield. So what should have been a loss is going to turn into a big touchdown run for halfback Rough Draft, 57 yards and a touchdown. The extra point is good, and we will see the Red Devils on offense after the kickoff. See if they can respond to House Party's first drive touchdown. Going to drop back to pass. Ooh, a little bit of pressure, not a lot, but enough to make Rich Gannon overthrow their superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill, setting up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down and long, they're going to go to the ground. Looks like it could be a good gain here, at least the first down. 13 yards by halfback Rania Kisieran. On first down, they will stay on the ground. Just shy of first down, 9-yard run by Rania Kisieran. On 2nd and 1. Going to drop back to pass. Throws, looks for his blocking tight end, Bodie Akers. Incomplete. Bringing up 3rd and 1. Going back to the ground. Can he get there? It's going to be close. I think he got enough. 1-yard gain and the first down. Rania Kisieran. Sticking on the ground with those outside runs versus House Party. Rania again, 21 yards on the ground this time. First down. Should be in at least field goal range. On first down this time, dropping back to pass. Looking for Bodie Akers. Tight end Bodie Akers over the middle. Incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10. Back to the outside run. This one is contained, and halfback Rania Kisieran only gains 1 yard. Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Play action. Gannon finds his superstar receiver, Tyreek Hill, for 21 yards and a first down. Much needed conversion. Back up the middle with Rania Kisieran for 4 yards, bringing up 2nd and goal. Going to run off tackle, and Rania completes the job, 3 yards and a touchdown. So the game is tied up. Well, barring the extra point, tied up 7-7. So kick the ball off before going to our third featured match. Nebraska Cornhuskers versus Bay Area's best. Nebraska will start with the ball. On first down, going to run off tackle. Yes. With their feature back, superstar Corey Ross, 5-yard gain. Corey is fun to watch with his spin. We saw a little bit of it there on that first down run. 2nd and 5. Back up the middle with Corey again for 5 yards. I think it's going to be inches shy. 3rd and 1. Screen this time to who other than their superstar, Corey Ross, who gets 4 yards and a first down on the screen pass from his quarterback, Eric Church. Back to the ground game. This time, Corey Ross gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a 1-yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 11. Back up the middle again. This team is built to feature Corey Ross, who goes up the middle for 3 yards. Going to get them just to about 3rd and 8, it looks like. I'm guessing we're looking to see a screen pass here. No, an outside run. I didn't think about that. And a spin for the first. 9 yards and a first for Nebraska. Back up the middle and another 3-yard gain for Corey Ross. Going to hear that name a lot today in this game. Off tackle, some spins. Only a 2-yard pickup for Corey Ross. Going to bring up 3rd and 5. Back to the outside run by Ross. Only picks up 2 yards this time. Question is, what do they have their field goal settings at? I'm betting they're going to punt here and give up an opportunity for 3 points. Yep. But they do have an accurate punter. Not as deep as they would have liked. So we'll see Babs after stopping Nebraska's running game. Not a bad 7-yard run by their halfback, Hassan Haskins.
Is this a good time to announce myself being here?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much.
How's it going?
You got to tell everyone who it is, and me too, because I'm not going to recognize your names.
It's terrible. It's Alex.
Alex is joining us again. Alex has been a regular for us. Good to have you, Alex.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So we got 3 games this hour. 3
Yeah, I saw that you went ambitious.
Well, I didn't want to slight anyone, and all 3 of these games have playoff implications. So,
that's true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if House Party wins today, aren't they locked, however? They have to lose today, right?
They have a 2-game lead on the other teams for the so unless there's some kind of tiebreaker scenario, then they would have at least the wild card. Yes,
They've got the toughest schedule though, looking at it. So I guess they're not out of the woods yet, even if they do win today.
I believe so. There's still some good games left this season in this Dragon League Pro tier, for sure.
I'm actually most interested in this game here we're watching currently, because I feel like in the past, Smash Rock would pretty easily handle Nebraska, and I'm not certain if this season they will do so.
Yeah, because of the moves that Babs made in the offseason. They started this season with lower chemistry, and Nebraska has just been a model of inconsistency.
Yes.
It's like which Nebraska team is coming to play today?
I feel like that's lessened out this season when they discovered that Corey Roth's also a pretty good screen runner.
Yep.
Um, but it's the kind of like one-dimensional offense that Smash Rock is a talented enough coach to defeat. It's just whether or not what I perceive to be damage done to his roster lets him do that still.
Yep. There's that factor. The other factor would be um, where they are one dimensional on offense. I think the strength of this team is DL Kurt's defense. If DL Kurt
Mm,
put in, depends on if he game planned and planned for this game like I hope they did. Um, that we're gonna go back to the first game now. It's kind of trying to do like a possession for each team. When DL Kurt game plans, scouts and game plans, they're tough. They're tough to beat. The defense keeps that Nebraska team in games.
sure.
So in this game,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the beginning of this, but this is the program's second possession. Moved the ball okay on their first possession, but the day shift strippers were able to stop them before any damage was done, um, and likewise for the program. So this is the second round of possessions here for the program and the strippers.
Yeah, I have been watching. It's actually very reminiscent of of like a defense I would call in terms of run stopping. A lot of spies and lurks inside and underneath the cover two. It's hard to run against that.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that the program's my team. For those that don't know, um, I'm glad that the program is a more balanced attack. So relying on mainly they have three superstars. It looks like this game so far, AI is calling a lot of runs, which has definitely been to the strippers' advantage. But I mean, we have a superstar tight end, a superstar wide receiver, and our superstar running back.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the players moving the field, this is a 100% run tag by the day shift strippers. So it
Hoping
could pay off, but I mean,
so
the
far it
program
has.
has the program has a really good passing attack. So I feel like eventually it'll just kind of get exposed.
I believe last time I looked, I could be wrong, so I'm going to put a little disclaimer here that the program has the number one offense, not number one running offense. We know who has that, but overall number one offense in the tier.
Yeah, and it's worth saying that you don't just have the number one offense; you have the best kind of number one offense. If that makes sense, it's when you go into matchups and you're like, oh, this is the number one offense. Oh, they're also number two in passing yards and number two in rushing yards. That sucks to look at.
And being balanced, as you all know, because we are really good rivals. Um, that being the balanced offense, it is harder um, to game plan against. I mean, there are definitely chinks in our armor in our game plan,
Mhm.
but I purposely went balanced attack to try to lessen the effect of game tagging. So
Yeah,
looks like intercepted by uh, superstar strong safety that hitter. So that's both teams' possessions. Let's move over to House Party screaming Red Devils. This game's interesting that it's 7-7.
yeah. I was surprised that I wasn't surprised the House Party was able to score so easily, but I was surprised that the Red Devils got on the board so quickly.
Yeah, the Red Devils are a little bit inconsistent as well. Maybe not as inconsistent as Nebraska. I will tell you that I basically put in for the Red Devils offense. Um, Actually, hell with it for their offense and defensive game plan for this one. I just put in what the program beat House Party with. So
Hmm.
we will see how well that works. We know it did not work so well for the Red Devils versus um, Grape Apes. when I did the same thing there.
Yeah, it's curious. I also wondered too, though, if the house party maybe kind of anticipated that, or if because I know in the past I've seen the Red Devils, or I've seen another team owned by Agern, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna use this team as like a soft scout, or he's gonna use things that he thinks might work against me.
Yep.
Um, so I've kind of like anticipated that in the past. I wonder if maybe they think the same. So far, though, they're moving the chains really well.
Yeah, their offense, at times, maybe it was last season, not this season, but there were definitely at times where they had the number one offense um in the league, and they're they have the same. I think they have the same number of superstars as the program. Um,
It's close at least.
yeah.
I'll do some quick due diligence for you. Let's see here. 9. So yeah, same as the program.
Oof.
Although
Fumble,
one
but
is a kicker, so that's a
so
bit
yeah,
scary. Something like that, a fumble recovery by the house party on the 30 would have been pretty devastating.
yeah. Trust me, I was holding my breath, holding my breath there when I saw it.
Running well though so far.
Yeah, I am surprised at how well the Red Devils have been able to move the ball on the ground.
This is something that the house party needs to concern
Ooh,
themselves with because
there's the interception by
oh yeah. Yep,
so
that's basically every main interception ever. The receiver tries to catch it, doesn't, and then interception. But yeah, the house party needs to be concerned about this because they're getting run on by the Screaming Red Devils. We saw people who watched the last stream, they got run on by the Grape Apes. Like their run defense is starting to look kind of suspect at this point.
and I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that the Red Devils running backs are neither of them are superstars. I don't think.
That sounds right. Yeah, neither is a superstar. And in fact, not only are neither one a superstar, neither is even on full chemistry.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's not a good sign for House Party going forward. They may
especially
be,
when especially when the top two teams in the well, actually, when the top
yeah.
two teams in the tier are have superstar running backs.
Well, not only that, but they've got 3 tough games coming down the pipe, 2 of which are prolific running teams. And when it's not a good time to have a late season collapse of your run defense when you're about to face 2 of the best runners in the game.
Agreed. So Cornhuskers had to punt. Kind of expect this one to be a defensive battle, like you said earlier. Smash Rock, being able to counter Nebraska's one-dimensional offense, and DL Kurt being a really good defensive coach. DC.
Yeah. I mean, historically, I don't know if the Great Babes have actually lost to Bay Area Best Builds yet. I don't think we have, but tons of nail biters. Like every time it's a nail biter, and we never win with Salombo. It's always off the back of a passing game because he knows how to stop inside runs. So
he is a good coach.
for sure.
I don't think that he gets the recognition for being a good as good of a coach as he is. He's kind of like flies under a lot of people's radar.
I think once he gets to vet, because I think this will be his first run at vet. I could be wrong here, but I think so. I think he'll turn some heads when he gets some wins that people kind of write him off.
So back to the program, and the day stripper still at 0-0. Yeah, I know that Gats and Smash Rock obviously collaborated to strengthen both their teams in the offseason. I wonder if they're collaborating in game planning as well. I think that I saw that Smash Rock was on the day shift
Yeah, I
coaching
did see
staff.
that. I think if they're not, that's a mistake. They both could
Yeah,
stand to learn from each other.
agreed. I mean, I think that I Gads is improving. Smash. I think that Smash Rock is definitely at this point the more experienced um,
Yes.
coach.
Now, I say that drive is fascinating because the program went to the air 3 times in a row, and I said that this is 100% a run tag, and it is, to be clear. And yet, um, the program failed to convert all 3 passes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous. I had said earlier that this, that on paper the program wins this game, but we play the game, and that the strippers have, major upset potential.
Yeah, loss here to the Shippers, who no disrespect to them, but they're kind of a middle of the pack, like hovering right around wild card position team. A loss to them would be huge for
Okay,
them and upsetting for the program.
I got to deal with the melty dog. Just give me 1 sec. Hey, stop. Sorry about that. That's what you get when you live in a small house. So it looks like they incomplete. So they're going to punt,
Yep.
and after the punt, we'll go to our next game. But you were saying, yeah, strippers kind of in the middle. Yeah, because I mean, Gats has come a long way in a short time, I think, but he doesn't have as much experience as a lot of the coaches in this um, uh, Dragon League.
Yeah, I think in particular, Gads has suffered, and Smash Rock too, uh, suffered from unfortunate timing on their teams where they're stuck with very talented coaches, where either of them have the skill level to beat more inexperienced or more new coaches. Like they're definitely the best of their particular like crop. It's just they're also playing some of the best in the game at the moment.
Agreed. It's funny, like like in the forums, 4chan was talking about um, like he wants to do the videos, um, which I think is awesome. The more of us doing this, the better. Um, about how to start off with like the minimum investment kind of thing. The only thing I would I mean he would say, yeah, like it's doable where with 7 guys you can win a championship at rookie. And yeah, that's been done. But that's not going to happen if you get one superstar team or another. If you're a beginning coach and watch these videos, it's going to be difficult to pull that off against a more experienced coach. Now, if you're a first timer, they usually put first timers in their own league, and they put like the veteran coaches in a different league. I've kind of noticed that. Um, so it is possible, but it's not as easy as I think 4chan thinks it is. I know
Yeah,
he's
I
done it.
think I think there's a lot of people who have won rookie in like off seasons, right, where like nobody's really there. GE has a rookie win, right, where there was 1 or 2 human players in his league, and then it was all CPU, and he won a championship that way. And it's easy to do that and be like, oh, rookie is easy to win. Um, but then you see times when Kavoth happens to be playing in rookie, and no, it's very much not easy to win, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I've got some rookie campaign wins from that scenario. More so like on Matthew's account and my brother's account that I inherited after we tried the game and decided it wasn't for him. But those were like new accounts.
yeah, and I do think it's possible. It's just like sometimes you get there are some dynastic teams that just show up, right? Like you did main Rampage, Rift's first season, We
Yep.
went to the championship together, and Riff ultimately won that matchup. But that was a season where if Riff's not there, that's your championship all day,
Yeah.
right? It's just one of those things where sometimes it doesn't work out. The right team is there to block you, unfortunately.
But I will say that now I like that a lot of us veteran coaches are really creating content and putting stuff out there to help the new, inexperienced owners and coaches. Uh, this could be a difference maker right here. Because
Oh no, is that all the way?
I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
about
gone.
you, but it was a steep learning curve. I mean, I took my lumps in the beginning, but I learned from them, from some of the greats, I mean, Osiris. I can remember playing against Rob's teams and um, you know, back in the day when he was like dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I said when I started Academy, right? I started it solely because I came back to GLB2 on a whim like a year and a half ago. Like, oh, this was a game I played before I got married and had kids and all that. I wonder if it's still around. It is cool. I'll just log on and see. And within like a day of just logging on and messing around, William78 messaged me out of the blue, like, hey, I remember you from back in season 2. You're really good. We should team up, right? And without playing with him for a season or two and having him like catch me back up on the game, I wouldn't be where I am now, right? I probably wouldn't even be playing anymore.
Yep, I remember William.
So yeah, there almost is kind of a like a needed mentor system. In fact, I wish they had that for new players. I created an account for the first time I ever played this game. Coaches can opt in to be a mentor, and it assigns one to me to like talk and ask questions to. I wish it did that because I think it's needed. Some coaches will never get onto the forums and realize that GLB2 Academy exists, right?
Agreed. Now we see the program starting to move the ball a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good outside run. But still absolutely nothing up the middle.
Matt, pay attention. When that dog goes on that pad, you pick it up.
Possible field goal.
There we go. Field goal is good. So the first points of the board. Would have rather a touchdown, but I'll take three and some good defense, hopefully. And
It's always just good to get that little bit of morale damage though on the defense. Sometimes that can be the chink that gets the offense rolling.
yep, a little crack in the dam. And program defense holds.
These are
Punt, and then we'll
decent
go
runs.
back to our second game. So far, knock on wood, these have been great games.
Yeah, nothing has gotten out of hand yet or anything. I think it's you did a good job picking matchups that have good parity to them. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I try to. I'm not gonna pick a game, where somebody's playing against the CPU or where it's a, you know, top team in a tier versus a bottom team in a tier. I
Right.
will try to get as many different teams as possible, but as I kind of said earlier, all three of these games have playoff implications.
Now he's very lucky that that didn't go worse for him. Um, that's you actually. You're calling cover 2 against 4 wides. Very scary.
Mom, I still have that smell in my nose.
Yeah, let me go back and see which one that was. At the C2 tight end smother versus Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that because of um, the tight end smother piece, basically to cover the tight ends with the corners, and hope
Right.
that my CB1 and CB2 do a good job on the wide receiver one and wide receiver two, and then they've got over the top help from the safeties. But you're right, that does leave the um, middle open there.
Yeah, it worked out this time, but I don't
It's
know.
worked out a lot more
moved,
than it should.
I've moved away from cover two almost entirely, um, due to how often the quarterback will find an open man.
I will say the one thing cover two is good for is if you have intercepting corners. And also, hello, everyone.
You
That's
got to introduce
Adderfist.
yourself so that everyone knows who's talking, myself included.
Yes, so this is Adder. I just jumped in with like 3 minutes left in the first of the house party game here.
Let's see. So that was, let's look at this. Yep. Welcome aboard, Adder. Nice to have you.
We also have Dreadgar here, but I don't know if his mic is working.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to get working and join us. Nice to have Dreadgar joining us because we have had Elix on the most with us. Is it Elix or Elix? How do you wish it's pronounced?
I really don't care. You
All
could
right.
go either.
All right. Adder joined us last week. Elix and Adder were both they worked together really a lot and really well.
Another pick.
By the
house party. That's their second one so far.
I was just about to say too how the Screaming Red Devils were doing a nice job to keep this close.
Yeah,
and I didn't say it, but I thought it, and then that happened. So far, the only difference in this game is the special teams touchdown.
Yeah, and that could be really scary because it would be a real feels bad to lose 7-0 off of a return. I've done it before. I've lost that way, and it always stings.
Yeah, special teams is not the the forte of our teams generally.
Here comes a big run.
Putting it very politely.
That's a great bit of blocking by Bay Area's best builds. And also a little bit of a scary call. 2-man under against the unbalanced set, or any kind of man under against the unbalanced sets like this, tend to let the strong side runs go for big gains.
Can you guys hear me now?
There we go. Welcome aboard, Edgar.
Dr. Edgar.
Dr. Edgar. Okay.
Dr. Edgar. Okay.
So are you a real doctor?
No, it's just
or just no, it's just
TV? A fucking joke.
I've never known that was Dr. Edgar. But now I know.
Yeah. Where y'all at in the game now?
We're looking at 3 different games right now. This is the Cornhuskers versus Bay Area. 7:43. Second quarter, 7:43.
There's a link posted in chat if you'd like to join us. You can follow along with what we're looking at as well.
It'll be whatever Agram happens to be looking at the moment. Opportunist on Nebraska, which is an interesting essay choice.
Yeah, DL and Viper like to do some different things with some of their builds. Babs moving the ball.
Yeah, the score here is big for them.
Ooh. Gonna be
putting up points before the half would be big.
Great run.
Good defense there. Second and goal. Touchdown. Forrest Hart. So, barring the extra point, Babs will tie it up.
That's really good news for Bay Areas because I feel like, having watched, the first quarter and a half of this game, I don't think Nebraska actually can score with their offense. And how many times can you really expect to score with your special teams in a single game, you know?
Yeah, I think that the only way that Nebraska is going to score on offense against this Babs team is if Corey Ross breaks a big one on a screen or a
Yeah, some kind
one.
of huge screen.
Because he does have that potential, but
That's
I
a
don't
huge
see them
juke.
moving the ball consistently. I see Barry Ayers best doing a better job moving the ball consistently than Nebraska.
Yeah.
The more we're watching these Nebraska Cornhuskers 2001 games, the more I'm interested in Corey Ross for what he's doing. If he's going to end up being spin juke power through or something like that.
Like a faster, more technique-based Slamba number 5.
Yeah, instead of a power base, you have the elusive as the higher base.
Possible.
Yeah,
Rob,
I haven't talked to Viper about that. I don't know. It's a great question.
Rob did with Barry Sanders that way back in the day.
Spin and juke.
Yeah, where he did more elusive base with a little power running, and that is kind of what this build looks like.
I
I
think
love
that's the
that spin
traditional
animation. I've never built a spin halfback, but I like watching like good spin halfbacks, like Slumbo number 5 and Corey Ross.
That was a scary call. That double DB blitz against screen, every time that's going to be big gains. Smash is really going to have to hope that that doesn't get called too often. Interesting to see them actually call it down the field pass, though.
Yeah.
That hadn't been a hallmark of their offense, so I wonder if that's something they've kind of snuck back into their play calling recently.
I mean, it's definitely one of those teams. The quarterback is impossible to sack, basically.
It could
Oh,
be
man.
that's Viper Maw's hallmark at this point is the shed
Break
sack
sack.
quarterback. Yeah.
Just after, I mean, I've played against that and just been annoyed.
So I said before, maybe it's the commentator's curse, but I said before Nebraska couldn't score offensively, and now they've put together a extremely powerful drive. They're moving the ball at will.
I was just thinking that same thing.
Yeah, and off the same plays though. That's what's interesting is that nothing really is new here other than that play action we saw, and all of a sudden everything's just working.
Oh, tackled by the left guard, but they just lost it.
Oh,
Fumble. So that drive, that beautiful drive, gets them.
You really
nothing.
hate to see that, especially because I just noticed the time in the game. It could have been the case that Smash Rock has defensive audibles called during the
But
the
there's a
3
fumble
minute
here,
drill.
and they get it back.
I would love to know the data on this because I swear that after a turnover, the opponent's chance of turnover is like tripled.
Yeah.
Compared to every other play thereafter.
wow. The
I
fact they got out of that spin.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to see him get out of that spin and then get the touchdown. I mean, they get the touchdown here, but just on that
And then he
play, it
does
would
it.
have been neat.
That is the best spin back I've seen because most spins, they move so far, it makes it bad. But these spins do seem to be a lot tighter on this back.
I had mentioned because Raid has disagreed with Slombo's decision to go spin because of the pinball. But I have mentioned that I think the pinball is actually just a byproduct of the power roll of the spin. So that if you are a combo back with higher power, you won't suffer that pinball nearly as much. I don't know if that's the case, but watching Slombo, who only has bronze spin right now, he still gets pinballed. But watching Corey Ross, who has, I imagine, gold, which gives a much higher floor for your power roll, that is what's going on, that I'm correct about that.
Yeah, I'm going to take this one down to the half, and then we'll go back to the other two games.
But yeah, I would say Corey Ross is probably that that kind of traditional, like 75 elusive running, 60 power running combo back, right? Like that 15 split
The play action
on
pass
elusive.
again.
I love that they're actually putting this into their offense more because that's what they need.
Yep.
Like that would
Yeah,
have
we
been
were
a
talking
huge
about that
game.
earlier, being one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I had to do this with my how demoralizing team that I built to be a heavy run team. But so they're built on inside runs, outside runs, off tackles, screens, quarterback scramble, like outside runs, and then I put in some play actions, but out of the all out of the same formations basically. So hopefully it's a little bit harder to
will say
defend.
for having juke and spin, I would have thought it would just be a immobile mess where it's always either spinning or juking, and therefore it's never actually getting upfield. But it looks good, actually.
I'd be curious what that carry awareness looks like, because I know if you get that higher, they do start juking and spinning, just like you said.
He
potentially.
must be blind. I was going to mention that, actually.
No.
He must be a very blind halfback.
Daredevil, should we name him Daredevil?
But yeah, I imagine he is probably like a
feel.
30 carry awareness back or something like that to not just do like Dredgar said, just dance everywhere and do nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, it could even be a much higher than that. It could be as high as 65.
Defense causes another turnover.
That's what I was wondering. It's either got to be really low or really high.
Yeah.
Because I've had a halfback elusive with like 75 carry awareness, and they juked nonstop every game. But it was good jukes mostly.
This is scary for them. They're going to give up 3 points here at least now. Yeah. That's a big morale swing right before
Hopefully
the
we didn't
half.
just jinx them, though.
Oh, we didn't get out of bounds. There's timeout.
Yeah, they've got one timeout remaining.
There we go. Yep. So
okay, field goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best they could have done in that situation.
I love this league, this group of teams. We've got some really fun halfbacks to watch in Slombo number 5, in Darnell, in Corey Ross, and even in the House Parties superstar halfback Rough Draft.
Yeah, I was looking at Rough Draft. I think he is almost a pure speed back at the moment, which is interesting. Like, it's one of the more dangerous halfbacks, but it takes a while to get there because, until you're faster than the defense,
that and you need to have a team that actually blocks for you too.
Yeah, it also requires a special kind of pulling guards and stuff to make work, which is questionable if they have it or not. I don't know if they knew that going in. Man, Darnell has been absolutely bottled up this game.
He has.
Absolutely nothing.
And he's usually the one that gets this offense doing its thing. I mean, Gronkowski and Edelman, both get theirs, but it's because Darnell opens things up.
Well, here's something though. Just a bad play call here. Middle overload against a sweep. That's 20 yards every time.
Yeah, I don't know why you call middle overload on 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
Same question.
Yeah, it could very well be they were expecting you to pass.
I mean, even
but it is a mistake. But
it's one of those things. You play it conservative. You get your,
maybe call a zone blitz there, not a man blitz, even if you have a man defense.
Yeah, I'm bringing one extra guy there, right? I'm trying to make you throw the ball before the 10-yard line, but that's what the blitz is for. It's not because I just don't want you to get 10 yards. If you make an 8-yard completion, I don't care at that point.
Yeah, but if he scouted me, he would have seen that the program on 3rd and wicked long, we run the ball. We
100%.
Yeah. And now you see 2 big completions of that. That might have really done significant damage to his morale, allowing that run to happen. Luckily, they're hard hitting.
Yeah.
And it seems like perhaps Joe Kane's power is a little low. I'm just guessing here, but because the receivers having to turn around a lot to catch the ball, which is letting them get plowed. But you're just moving the ball now. I have to wonder if you score off of this drive, which it looks like you will, if that may not have been a critical error by the day shift strippers.
It's funny they have Alvin Mack. We have a superstar Alvin Mack on Earth.
Because their run defense inside is so solid, man. It's a shame to see them potentially lose a game off of a call like that.
A tight end screen. Whoa.
Interesting. Hey,
Yeah,
doing the
I
job.
like to have a few little gooberish kind of plays in there. That's one that if I don't forget, I obviously take out against a Grape Apes or
That
Yeah,
is a
screens
very
against the Grape
interesting call,
Apes.
the tight end, especially if you're looking at it in terms of zone.
I love it on goal line, 1 yard line on the goal line there, right? Like you only just need to get away from the interior somehow, and a quick little screen like that makes perfect sense.
As long
guys.
as you
You
catch it, you're probably getting that yard.
gotta remember, guys.
Yeah.
I am a diehard Patriots fan, so hence Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman.
Absolutely
If
filthy.
if my team
I'll
didn't,
say we forgive you.
my team, my agents
I don't forgive him.
didn't
I'm a
didn't come
Patriot
up with
fan too.
a program as a team name. I definitely, because before the program, it was remember Bill's Special Brownies, and then
Yes.
I had I think I had the Patriots for a little while. Yeah, after them, I would have gone with that theme, but I really like the program theme, minus Edelman
Shit.
and Gronkowski.
So you should have told me I'd have changed my name on my dots on there.
That's all right. I mean, you can still change it if you wanted to, but so I have a wide receiver 3 screen in here somewhere too.
Still some decent runs here.
They're very, very close to breaking these two. They're
Yeah,
like,
it makes me worried, but so far it's being contained. If Howard Duck, I don't know what his build is like, but if he could just make another man miss on any of these, he'd really be in the money. But they're answering so far.
Yeah, they are moving the ball.
7 points here is pretty critical though against the program. If you come away with this with nothing, you have to think that might be just it.
Nice catch. There we go.
Incredible.
Yeah, on the board, keeping it close.
Making it a game.
Yep, I'm kind of glad. I mean, we've talked in the past about how, I mean, especially a coach like Gads, who's trying to improve, like asking questions, not expecting the veterans to do it for him. Because I don't know about you guys, but in the past, like that frustrated the heck out of me when I'd offer to help people out.
All right,
and-
that TE screen I am less in love with. On the 1 yard line,
Yeah.
perfect sense. This is just you're out to lunch here, Hecker. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's a play that I only call like on like really low risk, like a times. I don't put that. I don't call my screens like a lot. It's just like hoping to surprise some people, but
Mhm.
it's definitely not like a big important play to our playbook.
Okay.
I'd like to get some more points here before the half myself. Not gonna lie, their little touchdown, their big touchdown there, got me back to being a little concerned.
It still just seems
That
like to
catch
me
is
that they
huge.
really took a lot of morale damage from that last drive because this was a pretty stingy defense up until that last drive, and they started to really kind of give up some big passes. They need to stop here bigly.
Now they're gonna hope my kicker doesn't do his job. No, we punted. What?
It was a 50-yarder.
Yeah, you know what? I think I might have just dialed my. I think I dialed it
Also,
down. A little bit.
punt for 10 yards, though. Certainly not ideal.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of because of my Matthew language, because of my the program scores a lot more, so the punter doesn't get to punt a lot. And I had my distance, I just barely dialed back, I think, the distance a little bit on the field goals. That's why I was surprised to see the punter out there.
Yeah. Yeah, he must have just missed it.
Because my kickers kicked some long ones in the again, because I was confident enough because we pretty good offense and been able to put up points. So it's like, you know what? If we're up enough, I'm gonna take the risk of missing the kick.
Yeah, I know
'Cause
that
I've seen
play
other
worked out.
teams. I've seen other
Go ahead.
teams that, and actually, I think I talked to Alex about this. Is all right. No more points before the half. Enough is enough. Anyways. Before the half, I've seen other teams like punt because of the short punters and pinning people deep.
Right.
Where I would have gone for the 3 points. I understand why those teams do what they do. Well, most of the time, some teams have that same plan as Alex. Pin them deep and let our defense do their thing. But there are some more or less experienced coaches that I don't know do a good job with their kick settings.
I will say the one benefit you do have with a very high power punter or kicker is you can just kick the ball so deep they can't return it.
Yep.
And then you don't have to worry about coverage.
Or kick returns. Yeah, especially. Yep. But taking that same thing into consideration, a coach like Alex, I mean, he doesn't have the power, but he has the accuracy. So he's like, okay, you're not going to get to return it anyways, and you're going to be pinned inside your 10,
Yeah. It only really hurts us when, you have a 3 and out on your own 17 and now you're punting 30 yards. That sucks.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you've got time here. 2 timeouts. This could be a field goal if you move the ball well.
That would make me feel better. Nope. All right, so let this finish, and then we're going to go get our house party game to halftime. House party and Red Devils, another good game. Although house party in good field position,
that
and a big run by Rough Draft here. Going to take it all the way. Rough Draft having a great game for house party. It's a little bit of separation. This game's only in the first quarter.
First quarter, a lot of action.
I've neglected this game.
Man, fortunately, with another score by the house party, if the Red Devils can't answer, this one might be over before the half, really.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was worried about going into this game for the Red Devils is knowing how good the house party offense. Oh, I mean, they've been a pretty good. Well, their run defense has been spotty lately, but
yeah, the run defense. If you keep the ball on the ground from here on out, you're really in this with a chance. But these passes are scary.
Yeah. Those 2 interceptions.
It seems like, it seems like house party might be one of those man defenses that only goes a little bit in deflecting and then really boosts up the intercepting. I don't personally like that style, but I've seen people make it work, and it works well when it works. Ooh.
No, come on now. Nope. Ooh, that was 3rd down too.
We talked about strong shift last game. I absolutely hate that against any team that's going to pass the ball. So we can talk about why strong shift is bad. Strong shift is bad because it blitzes both the strong safety and it blitzes the outside linebacker at the same time. So there's nobody to cover that tight end who's built to cover that tight end. You might have a middle linebacker or something covering him, but that's a completion every time that they go to him on that play. I have to wonder if house party has seen something. Maybe again, you mentioned that you ran your same defense. I wonder if they were expecting that because I know kind of one of the hallmarks maybe of an Agram defense is the lack of aggression, and they are taking it deep quite often with their passes.
Yeah. That is definitely valid. That's why I'm working on a plan to. Because I was looking at the programs, comparisons and seeing that they have the top offense, but like our even the programs defense overall is like middle of the pack. You know,
Mhm.
so I was like, I got to do something to. I got to do something. So I'm working on a little something to try to teach this old dog some new tricks, and that's that score you were talking about right there. Because if we want to continue
Yeah.
to compete with the Grape Apes, um, I'm running out of offensive tricks up my sleeve, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit of help from the defense. Can't be
Small
sitting in the middle of the
consolation
pack.
prize here for the Red Devils with the missed extra point.
Yeah, the missed extra point gives them a chance at a 2-point conversion at least down the line, but
That's if they can score.
yeah, I mean, you have to think that defensively their morale is just shot now. I don't know that they're going to be able to do much more here.
Ooh,
Scary pass.
yeah, and being down, we're gonna see him
Middle overload
passing.
again. I'm really surprised to see that being called at the professional level. This is usually a play that kind of weans itself out of existence by the end of sophomore. It just starts getting too risky to do. So I'm interested to see people still running it even in professional because the risks get really, really high.
Yeah, it's so
Passing
funny
on
because
3rd and
I'm
16 is extremely ambitious.
Yeah, that was a questionable call there to pass on 3rd and 16. I imagine that has to do with tactics at that point involving
being
trailing
down.
tactics.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the being down
exactly.
tactics versus the because in my normal tactics that would not have should not happen.
Right.
But
Well, if they
Interesting
keep
to
on
know that
those
you have it set to
tactics,
20 points.
looks like they did their work on this.
This is where, again, trailing tactics can, well, I don't like them, right? You have something
I
like
don't
that
use them.
where, yeah.
I 99 them out just to not worry about them messing up.
Yeah, like Adder and I talked about. I think Agram did too last time. Why there are some fringe use cases for it, but in 99% of my games, I never use them. It takes a very particular game for me to want to use trailing tactics.
another interesting
And
point here, I'll have to talk to higher growth afterwards and see, you know, if uh, if he figured that I would go with the same program, offense and defense that I did against House Party, or and if he changed things up from when he played against program, but um, program handled House Party handily
yeah,
with this
what
same offensive and defensive um,
he
game plan.
he he plays you more as well, which I think is always an advantage to each other. Because if he's before realized that, okay, if I get it by 20 points, Agram's trail tactics will kick in. He's going to go full pass. Then I can put my tactics in that when we're up by 20 points, I just call pure blitz from then on out.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's gone that in depth on it, but if that were the case, this game is just done and dusted.
I don't know if he. I don't know that he does go that in depth with his planning. I think they are the better team on House Party's the better team on paper, and straight from
Hell, I
rookie.
just look. They've got 7 guys that are like 10,000 SP in active worth.
Yeah, that's true as well. That could be a big part of their run defense woes. It's just that 10,000 SP that should have gone to tackling that isn't there right now.
Yeah, I think it was 2 linebackers, 2 corners.
The linebackers are the killers, man. By professional, your linebacker should basically be done on their tackling. Like, they shouldn't be getting better at
Another
that point.
another interception.
Yeah, I mean, same way, right? Like, this is that classic man interception. Luckily, this time it happened in normal punt range, so I guess you've got that going for you. But
Yep.
I have to feel like
Speaking
they're just
of
gonna.
a germ, right there.
I have to feel like this is gonna be another house party score, though. At this point, I don't know that the defense. Can we do a quick look at the Red Devils' morale real quick? Because I have to
let's
imagine
slide down.
it's bottomed out by now.
Not as bad as you thought. It's not good. There's certain players where it's definitely bottomed out, but it's not as
I would
bottomed
expect
out.
it to be lower than that.
Yeah,
I would have too, but those safeties and those corners, though, that's where all the damage is going to come from anyway.
Yep.
That
Yeah, that's a
Zach
good point.
get
Yeah.
Mo money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too that even though we have a full roster now, that the Red Devils area of weakness has been since the conception has been their secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to here. There we go. And I don't think
run.
that I could be wrong, but I don't think that the Red Devils have since rookie, including rookie. I don't think that the Red Devils have ever beaten House Party.
They've had some good wins under their belt, some real surprises, but I'm not certain if House Party has been among them.
Yep.
I think kind of the El Clasico between Screaming Red Devils has been Nebraska.
Yep. I know. I feel bad. I love them, and I created them, as I had said in previous things, streams. Because there was when those 3 different teams went belly up. I wanted to have a place for those agents to have their players go. But at the same point in time, I have my baby. In the program. It feels like the Red Devils are my not trying to be politically incorrect, but my redheaded stepchild.
No but I've said before that between Bay Area Best Builds, Days of Strippers, and the Screaming Red Devils, in that group of agents and players, there is a top 10 bet team there. But they all need bits and pieces from each other to get there, though.
Yeah, we were going to try to do something with Babs in the off season before he went and worked with not Babs, Smash Rock, before he went and worked with Gads. But a piece of the puzzle that you guys aren't aware of because it's like inside information is that another big reason why I started the Red Devils was I really like Quad L's, what he contributes to the game, and with Deadpool going down, I wanted to have a home for him to be a GM and a league for him to do his write-ups.
Sure.
So, there have been some times, thankfully, where he's spoken up, and we've done things differently with the Red Devils because of that. Honestly, I've tried to find somebody, that would take over coaching the offensively and or defensively, coaching the Red Devils. So I wasn't so, conflicted, having both the program and the Red Devils, and to be content just to be an owner of this team. If I could find a good, HC, OC, DC kind of, we got a touchdown for the Red Devils. How about that?
That is big right before the half. That will help their refill on the half.
And it's out of no disrespect whatsoever for my agents, and the players. But that's also why I'm still coaching them. It's because I haven't found the right person. I love having Claude as my GM, right? And all that he brings to the table. I just haven't found somebody to take over the.
I just think it's unfortunate because this is one of the areas where a newer coach like Gads or Smash Rock is going to try and fix a roster later on in their career, and they're not. I don't know that they have the experience to actually know what they need, right? They swap players with each other during this last off season, and I would say that it improved the day shift strippers, but it didn't improve, in my opinion, the Bay Area's best builds. And I think there was a way to do it, and I think they even could have done it very similar to how they did it. And this didn't shake out that way. I think it would have been fascinating, or still would be fascinating, if you took 3 teams, Bay Area's best builds, Day Strippers, and Screen Red Devils, and we're going to take these 3 teams, and we're going to bring them down to 2 teams. And then go into the roster work involved in making that happen and improving them. Because I think you could have a 4 or 5 hour long discussion about how to make that happen and the thought processes that go into it.
Agreed. All right, so now we're back to the halftime for all 3 games. This is the bad side of doing a triple header with commentary. I love the commentary, and I prefer doing it with the commentary versus me just calling the game. But we're only in the second half, and it's like 2:00, and we got a great 2:00.
Maybe just put the fast forward on it a little bit. We'll just kind of hit the high points here as we go.
I mean, I've been kind of just clicking. We've been doing a lot of talking. It's just that we have 3 games. I think what I am going to do, though, is because there's only one 2:00 game, but it is probably the best game on my slate today. Between Hanna-Barbera and Springfield Adams, both teams are undefeated. Right? So I think I'm going to open up another.
That should be a very good game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to open up a 4th tab and just kind of go between the 4 tabs and see. Because once we get to the 3:00 hour, I should easily be done with the 1:00 games, and we only have one 3:00 game. Florida Greeters versus the Pirate Lab. Okay, Hanna-Barbera. That Hanna-Barbera and Springfield Adams, which it's a 2:00 game. So is that
it's in Callisto League? Yeah.
I'm personally looking forward to the quality control game against the Park Rangers. They haven't quite righted the ship yet, but historically they've done a very good job.
Yeah, I've been surprised at their slow start this season.
That was one of the games I was looking at
because of some key pieces that were not done quite correct, and it's causing them a lot of issues.
That was one of the games that I was actually looking at streaming today when I was looking through all the different games. It's just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that I picked today. Like the 1:00 games, those all had playoff implications. This is 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good games today.
So here we go. Hanna-Barbera will start with the ball. And feel free to interject at any time, guys. Actually, there's the 3 of you. I think I'll interject from time to time, but I think I'm just going to sit here and kind of play through to keep things moving. And if I think of something smart to say, I'll pipe up. But otherwise, if the 3 of you want to carry conversation while I have your 3 beautiful GLB2 brains on all together at the same time, that would greatly help the stream, I think. If you guys are comfortable with that.
Yeah, what I can say about Hanna-Barbera for this game is that it's just writing its defaults on offense. It's kind of meant to never have to change its offense. That's what I want out of it, is I want to just run the same offensive playbook from, the first day of rookie till the last day of vet and never have to change it and it work. And hopefully it's balanced enough and hard to stop enough that it'll just do that.
It will be interesting to see if you are able to do that. Okay, guys, for my game plan to work, you gotta talk there, guys. So it's funny, you guys had no problem talking before I put my pitch out there. Now it's like radio silence.
I'm just watching the game for a second here. I'm easing into the role. We
didn't lose Adder and Dr. Edgar, did we?
No, I have side discussions going on. It's okay.
So it looks like I haven't paid too much attention to the Springfield Adams this season, but it looks like they might be more of a hard-hitting defense just off of they're not having the hardest time tackling Captain Caveman so far. A few knocked looses early on. It could just be the rolls. But
And it
seems
looks like
they
it's
might
a
be
run-stopping line as well.
Yeah, it could be more of a power hitting secondary and a run-stopping line though so far.
Doesn't mean Caveman's not going to get 5-6 yards of carry, though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like Hanna-Barbera had any difficulty going downfield and scoring on their first possession.
Yeah, I mean, the whole concept, right, is just an unstoppable offense, quote unquote. Like, obviously nothing is truly unstoppable, but as hard as it could be to stop it.
Note to self, scout Hanna-Barbera. Steal some of Alex's plays.
Yeah. So it's going to be on defense where we'll lose, right? Offensively, we're going to get our points. It's just, can our defense give us the lead we need?
That's kind of different from your teams, okay. Alex. Normally, you're like all about superstar defenses. So now this is like super offense.
Not to say that our defense is a slouch or anything, but it's definitely very much offense first.
That was literally the point of Hanna-Barbera, which I like, okay, we always do, we do different ideas on defense, but we always do some variation of a superstar loaded defense, and then the offense gets the bare bones scraps, and we go, okay, offense, we kept them to 10 points. Now just do anything, and hopefully we'll win the game, And so we decided to flip the script on that, right? Make a strong offense and then just give the defense the leftovers and say, all right, well, we scored 50 points. Just keep them under that and we'll win the game. So kind of just two sides of the same coin at the end of the day. But
actually, this is the second time I think we've streamed Hanna-Barbera, because I think I remember
Captain Caveman
being really the centerpiece. Not the only centerpiece, but like I think the last time we streamed it, you were saying how you pound him down with Captain Caveman, and that opens up the rest of the offense.
It's actually the opposite. We pass 60% of the time. We only run 40% of the time, but that's because we want Captain Caveman to win us the game. And I've kind of changed my way that I view offenses over the past 2 seasons or so, where I no longer believe that you win the game with whatever you call most, right? Because whatever you call most, that's what's going to get keyed in on by the opponent's defense. That's what they're going to try and stop. I need that 35% or that 40% of my play calls. That has to be the actual danger. But I only can make that a reality by what I am calling 60% of the time be effective, though, right? So you have to have both. Yeah.
And Hanna-Barbera is up 14-0 already. Let's look at one more Adams possession before going back to the 1 o'clock games, and we'll cycle through.
Elix, when you were saying that about your using him like more 40%, but him to win, that immediately, when you were before you said that, I was literally starting to wonder, like, okay, he's 40% of the plays, but what's the actual yardage and scoring? Is it exactly that without scouting? Is it predominantly from him, which would then be what you said?
Yeah, I want to say I can just go look, I suppose. Let me see if I did a quick Hanna-Barbera matchup against the Springfield Adams. So we've had 33 passing touchdowns this season and 53 rushing touchdowns this season. So we're passing 60% of the time, but and running 40, but like 60% of our touchdowns are running and 40% are from passing.
And that's getting into that inside the 20.
Yeah, and that's also, down into the 5 or something like that, right? We just always run the ball anyway.
I've had teams like that before where I'm like, I don't care what you run on defense. I get down to the 3. I'm going to get in 3 plays. Piss off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a power back, and inside the 5, we're just going to run the ball. There's not a lot you can do about it.
This is getting scary here.
The day shift trippers is moving the ball very well right now. It's right off of the back of the morale refill, but every play is working.
Well, Matthew.
That morale refill is very dangerous.
You gotta
That's
find
always
something.
the first set.
An incredible screen here.
Whoops, it's the same play, I think. Yeah, I didn't hit the. There we go.
I see the point of this middle overload on 2nd and 1, but man, that was scary. Quarterback sneak. A good way to cheat a one yard gain.
And there we go. The strippers take the lead.
The program has to be a little worried right now. They haven't put up the points this game to
The program is a hella worried right now.
to play from behind like this.
I'm literally
I mean,
a little bit sick to my stomach right now. Not in like a bad way. I'm just like as far as like disrespectful way, but like as the owner, coach of the program.
yeah, no, nobody wants to lose.
Yeah.
And especially not when you've been up 10 points almost.
Yeah, and also when you've only got one loss in the season so far either. You know, any losses hurt. Okay,
Especially when House Party's game looks like they're going to win too. So that's your competition there. That's got to be close.
Yeah, another drop
thanks,
game
guys.
to that.
You're helping settle my my nervousness.
Any way we can help, man.
That's another punt.
Yeah. I cannot believe how anemic the program offense has been.
Another score by the
And
Dacia
actually the
Trippers.
defense. This is not my typical program performance.
Missed tackle behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's a little worrying.
Giving up a first down on like in that situation, we don't normally do that.
Oh.
Yeah, see, this is the kind of dangerous drives I talked about. This is the key of Grape Apes, right? Run the ball inside 3 times in a row. We don't need to get the first down in one go. We'll get it in 3, and we're going to wear your defense down. This is scary.
All right, I'm going to watch one more because it's so
critical
scary.
Stop. Okay, that
was
a
one more
critical
program
stop.
possession, and then we're going to go to the next game.
Yeah, if you don't get that stop there, I have serious concerns for your fate in this game.
It's the right play call there.
Yeah.
I would have liked the wide receiver 3 better, but yeah, good call.
Just open man there. That's why you don't need cover post? 2. Yeah, okay. Tight end post cover 2. Yeah, I guess why I don't like cover 2 is that exact reason. Tight end in the middle of the field, completely open.
Very scary. Then on the other side too, like a lot of times the slot wide receiver will be wide open on the sideline. So one thing that I like to do is on certain plays like that, that have a couple different really good targets. Damn it, is like put one in the small pass and one in the medium pass. So in the small pass, I might target the tight end. On the medium pass, I might target the wide receiver 3, basically. So same play, but having two different targets. All right,
man, what a game so far.
Yeah,
this is really shaped up to be something special here so far.
So back to the Red Devils and House Party.
No, finish. I want to see the end of this now. This has.
Oh, we'll be coming back, but I got
the drama though.
Hopefully, we'll get some drama here. Hopefully, we'll have some drama.
Yeah, lucky to only give up 9 there.
Another good run.
We'll see. I think
this is what you need. Just keep it on the ground against House Party. They cannot stop the run.
As long as you're not running up the middle, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Slumbo, it still doesn't matter, right?
Well, yeah, if you're Slumbo, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You just run up the middle anyway. What are they going to do? Tackle you?
I mean, sometimes. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Not going to lie, I definitely would like a touchdown on this drive.
Yeah, you really need one.
Strong shift. Oh, they should have gone the other side. Yeah, I did not scout these guys.
Yeah, strong shift on a sweep strong is every time that goes nowhere.
I forgot who it was that I played. I scouted them and they did the strong shift, So I purposely ran to the weak side and destroyed them.
Yeah.
With those runs to the weak side, and because I just used the program's um, play, playbook and tactics against House Party, um, because we did well against them, and got a lot of other stuff to do. It's coming back to kind of bite me in the bum. Yeah, we didn't get any points out of that possession.
Those interior runs are starting to look worrying too.
Any run that he does at this point is going to add up to the damage just because it's more conditioning being burned, right, by the safeties. And really, the conditioning level of the safeties is going to tell you how effective the run game is at any given time. The lower the conditioning gets, the more effective the run gets. It doesn't matter if you're running inside, outside. The run game goes through the safeties. So if they're tired, you can run the ball.
I mean, I'm not really upset with how the Screaming Red Devils defense has played against this House Party team. I think the difference in this game has been that
It's been turnovers.
turnovers, right? And the offense just not doing what we needed it to do.
Good blocking, though, by the Red Devils. They have a better blocking scheme for their halfback than the House Party does, which is interesting because, the Red Devils didn't orchestrate that. Maybe a bit of a shame for House Party so far that their pulling guards and tackles don't quite align with the build design of their halfback.
Come on. Oh! You gotta be kidding me. Wide open.
It's funny because here in Discord, we hear you, in real time, but the stream is 15 seconds delayed, so you'll be reacting to a play, and we're like, I don't know what he sees yet, but...
you'll see it in a minute. It's in seconds, yeah. Actually. I'm going to do the punt and then go to the next game as I put my head in my hands and cry.
Still within striking distance, though. It's got to convert sometime soon here.
And this is another great game, the Nebraska Babs game we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, all three really so far. I mean, they're still early, I guess, for all of them, but they've all been interesting. It could be 3 upsets today.
Potential for sure. Well, less so in the possible, but less so I think in the house party
game. Yeah, it's in the cards though. It could happen. Great stop there. That right there is basically why I have over time just given up on outside runs. Any team I'm a part of, we just run inside. Because I hate tackles for losses. I want my offense to be consistent. I don't need a 3-yard loss, a 3-yard loss, a 27-yard gain. To hell with all that. Just give me 3.5 yards every play.
I agree, but that's very much the defensive mindset.
Yeah, you get the difference between that to be like Kavoth, who almost exclusively runs outside instead and does extremely well for themselves. So it can work. It's not something I personally like.
Yeah,
so Alex and Adder, I'm sure that Dr. Edgar has done so, but Alex and Adder, have you guys made a like an offensive?
What an incredible spin!
An offense where like a balanced offense, where basically, I mean, you're running inside, you're running outside, you're throwing the different passes. Have you guys ever had a team with like a full blown? And when I say balanced, I don't mean exactly 50-50, but I mean that you can do all of the things,
The Aztecs in Bet are a balanced offense that runs outside, inside, off tackle, throws the ball.
Right.
They do all that.
So I was going to say, team. With some of your teams, man, if your offenses were not as one dimensional, you're not totally one dimensional. I don't say that'd be an insult, but just as a someone that competes against you and has to game plan against you, right? I think in some of your teams that I've had to play against, that I've definitely have taken advantage defensively of in game planning
Well,
of the one dimensional nature of those offenses. And again,
not to
it's not
throw
meant to be an insult.
any shade here, but I would have a much less one-dimensional offense on the Grape Apes if my wide receivers would boost and cat boost their skills so they were better at catching. I don't know who might have agents on the team that are wide receivers that haven't boosted in the past 3 seasons. But if there were some, their boosting would be very helpful for that balanced offense.
If you're speaking to me, all you need to do is just ask Rapid Lizard. Because I've given him tons of agents over the past players over the past. just ask me, because honestly, I know that like a lot of the teams that I make players for, like because I am a seasoned vet, fairly knowledgeable. That a lot of times, out of respect, guys won't ask me to do things. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's the only thing that's holding me back, guy. If you ask me, say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you boost that guy? Is it feasible? 98% of the time, the answer is, hell yeah, I'll do it for you, man. Because I know that I like to think that you would do the same for me. So
yeah.
If that's what you want, just send me either a chat or a PM in either GLB Academy. I'm not doing it to be disrespectful. I'm just like,
I'll let you know, but it was funny to me, not so just because of you, but it's literally the entire wide receiver core has taken that philosophy. It's kind of a vicious cycle, right? Where like the first 2 seasons we didn't pass the ball much, so they're like, all right, well, to hell with bothering boosting and cat boosting the receivers right now. We're not catching the ball anyway. And now I want to throw the ball, and none of them are any good at catching. So
Yeah, but I've on some other teams where like coaches don't give me any kind of feedback, So it's just like, you know what? If you're not gonna, and I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying to those other teams, if you're not gonna give me feedback, nice guy, nice. If a head coach or owner, doesn't, and don't take this personally, it's not directed at you. I'm making a statement because I play on plenty of teams where I'm like, why am I bothering with this player? Because they do nothing in their forums whatsoever.
right.
Nice spin touchdown. Nebraska's looking like they have this one well under control.
Yeah, this one's gone away from. What a crazy spin.
That was really good.
Pretty cool, bud.
That's the second time he's done that where the spin really carries him. I'm used to the spin being kind of a slow. Yeah, it goes forward technically, but it's for like 1 yard. When he spins, he moves at a good 6 yards downfield off of that spin.
And it's a tight spin. It's not like you said. It's not that lateral.
Yeah. I'd be really interested to see Corey Ross's build whenever Viper is done with his run, because it's certainly an interesting idea, whatever he's cooking with.
Yeah, he's my most favorite spin back to watch. Slumbo number 5 is number 2, but as far as
Well, there's only 2 of them, I think, in the game right now, so they have to be by default 1 and 2. But
all right, how about that? How often is Slumbo number 5 used to be referred to as number 2, like last, not even number 2, like last place.
The worst spin back.
And look at this.
Is this all the way?
And that's not even Corey.
Yeah. This one's over off of that. There's no chance.
That game's clean.
Now this will make for the Red Devils, it'll make their impending loss to House Party hurt a little less. Now back to this game here. I was going to say when we left this Springfield Adams and Hanna-Barbera game that Hanna-Barbera has dominated so far on both sides. I mean, 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, 2 defensive possessions.
So far.
14-0. They're in a pretty good position.
I think
I say that and now watch them go 3-0.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to jinx you. Nope. Captain Caveman with the first down.
It's hard to stop Captain Caveman. We built him wrong on purpose in Rookie as a joke. So, he was like level 6 in Rookie with 80 power running and like 10 sprinting and quickness, And a Rookie has some kind of stopgap in place, right, of making power running not actually good in Rookie for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But, when sophomore rolls around and we've got 90 power running already and 100 conditioning, teams just really struggle to tackle him. And,
I'm not even thinking of it that way, right? I was just going to say, before you made that comment, I was going to say how for that reason, right? I try to go with the physicals first on my running backs in rookie year, right? And then after I have that base of the good physicals, then I go either like my elusive or my power, but
Right.
like I go a lot of speed and carry awareness, even like a rookie. Well, physicals and rookie, physicals and carry awareness. There we go during rookie. But you make an excellent point that how going in the power or the elusive heavy during your rookie season really sets you up well for sophomore.
Yeah.
Vipers did that for a long time with all his power backs. He did for years where he just have these guys, like I said, they'd have 15 sprinting, but they'd break 20 tackles in a play.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll work for the elusive as well, though, because you do have to have that base of being able to move.
You have to get away from tacklers, right? Like it's not because they'll never break tackles like a power back will. So they have to turn a broken tackle into a gain. The power back can just break tackles enough to where they'll get the touchdown, but the elusive never will. QB rollouts against me, guys. You can't do this.
Hey, so anyone that's watching, take note. If you're going to play against Hanna-Barbaric, don't run quarterback rollout. He's telling you right now.
Yeah.
If you do, I will shut you down.
Right outside of rookie, they're not that good anyway.
Yeah. And even in rookie, once you're an experienced coach, stopping them is not a big deal, right? Like
exactly.
DE flats, especially. Credit Dreadguard to this. When I was first learning the game, I saw Dreadguard using 4-3 sets, and specifically because it has DE flat strong and DE flat weak, which are some of the most incredible plays, by the way, if you're not aware of that as a coach. The 4-3 is the only set that has it. But those plays, if you run into them, it's fucking over.
Although I will say on the flip side of that, right? That's another reason why I well, actually not even, it's not as much to do with a balanced offense as if I see somebody that calls a lot of the DE flats, and I used to be guilty of this myself, right? That's when I will go off tackle against them. So I think that's the weakness to DE flats is
completely.
Yeah, I agree.
It opens you up for off tackle runs.
Day script still is just moving the ball.
I don't think I ever used flats like just as a standard call unless it was like there was parts of rookie back in the day where you're like, okay, stop the outside and be done with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was like,
this is gonna make me
you
cry.
got to know someone's going to be outside that way. Oh,
I just threw up in my mouth.
This is that run I was talking about. I kept seeing him make these kind of runs, and you're like, this turns into a big one eventually, and there it is. That's at least 3 for them now.
Had him in the back.
The other thing for DE shifts that I really like is against running quarterbacks, you force them to run and then you let them get hit by your monster tackler or your monster hitter.
That's true,
right,
too.
Exactly. Just exhaust them, beat them up.
Another converted down. These play actions, so to be clear, this is one of the fears of calling a defense that never blitzes, is these play actions are just free. You can just call them all day. The play action is if the blitz comes, that's a sack. But when you always play back like this, you can just call play actions all day long. And now it gets scary for Agram because down by 11, 13 minutes to go, you got to score. You have to think on this next drive.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
if
glad
you
we
don't
got
score, I'd have to think it's over.
Yeah, and not only does he have to score here, he has to get the 8 points. He's down by 21. A field goal and a touchdown doesn't do it.
Nope.
Yeah. But that's part of that game. The game is I don't think it would.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna have to do something different on defense. I finally got my
Now-
offense to where I normally, except for today's ugly ass game, I've got my offense like what I like, but
And now
That
this
was,
game next week is a really, really important one.
Yeah, that was the house party again, talking about their line not being set up there. You can see they don't have either the lead block awareness or the run block awareness. Their lead blocker was way out in front, didn't pick up the linebacker that was coming in. But if he was there, that's a 10-yard gain. And say it was like a 1-yard gain or a 0-yard gain.
I mean, house party's a funny team. Like that when that team formed, I remember there was no build plans. They just like, build me your best pass rusher, your best. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, kind of like an ace of spades kind of deal, just make it.
Yeah, literally, I was like, well, what do you want the DN to be? I just want him to be a pure pass rusher. Well, okay, non-star pass rusher, got it.
Yep.
Screaming Red Devils making some good gains though.
Ooh.
And again, a better outside running game than House Party has had so far today.
Gonna hand that. I think both of Screaming Red Devils halfbacks. I think both of them we got from Dallas Cowboy fan.
That seems correct. Yeah.
The Snow Leopards. Come on, let's get a touchdown here.
We'll make some solid halfbacks. So those outside runs would.
Yeah, DCF one of the better outside run builders. He's struggled to make inside runners, so whatever he does seems to
definitely would have preferred 7-3 there, but
yeah, but still, again within striking distance, like you got the points you needed to get to keep it within the realm of reason. One ugly turnover, and you're back in this game fully.
Imagine if House Party, with this league as competitive as it is, imagine if House Party had gone through a planning phase like Grape Apes or the program.
That's why I want to tell new coaches, like, guys, even if you're making a team, like, just get Scott or I involved, right? We don't have to take over the team. We don't have to do anything for you, but just listen to us and how we go about building a team, because it will help you, right? Like, it is a critical part of a team is the pre-build before you ever get down to what dots you're going to make. The discussion you have around a team and like how it functions is critical to have.
The first week or the first couple days before you're even building is going to greatly impact your entire run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean I see that tons. I've done that on teams. Like I said, did nothing, and then most time Southside and stuff. I keep that. Like you said, it's a whole season planning of what is this team going to do? What are we going to do on this?
Yeah, and we talked about before.
Yeah, do we have a certain play style of offense on play calling too? Because those dots need to be affected by that.
Oh, that's a heck of a punt.
Yeah. But I've said before, right? Like a lot of the wins that I get as a coach, it's not the game plan, it's something like that. It's I've already beaten you because, 6 months ago when I was building this team, that work has outworked you, not my game plan for the day or, whatever I did. It took us, Adder and I spent over a month designing Riff, like in Discord every day, talking about how we were going to do things, what the team was going to do, And nowadays it takes us 2 or 3 days. We refine the process, but like there is a process to it. That was a surprising conversion.
That first time we attacked Riff, working on getting everything put together. We were back for what, 2 seasons in the game, something like that,
Yeah,
kind of
2
getting everything
seasons.
figured out again. So
The Red
taking-
Devils, I think they're going to win this game if this keeps up. You know, like
if they can
It-
just keep running
it
the
might
ball
be
and
the
not making
case-
bad mistakes,
yeah, it might be the case that they're from behind, but the house party can't score and they can't stop the Screaming Red Devils from moving the ball either.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a
Stick with
lot
this
of
one until the end.
consistency on that quarterback, I think. That's some really good throws under pressure
yeah, he's in.
and a really good touchdown.
I mean, house party has to score off of this drive or eat so much time that there's not time enough for Agram to score off of it, but I don't see that happening. They've been passing the ball mostly. So
What you have to be careful of is that halfback run that breaks one tackle
Oops.
on the outside.
yeah. But
Well, I wanted to say when you guys were talking about that, all the work that goes into pre-planning, that's what I'm hoping that we can capture that when we do the stream team, right? The series of stream team videos, is show like newer, less experienced owner coaches, that process. There's a lot to this game.
right.
There we go. A stop.
Okay, this is a must convert. Yeah, he's bottled up. Yeah, that's huge. I think the Red Devils have won. I haven't seen the final drive obviously yet, but just the way the wind's blowing, right? Like they look unstoppable. In 4 minutes is plenty of time to get on the board again.
A rough draft just running out of steam at the very end there, looking like he's
Yeah,
pretty
I have
gassed.
to wonder. Maybe the house party is a little light on their conditioning. Not knowing their builds, but it just seems like they're out of gas.
Oh, still plenty of time. Still plenty of time.
That's one of those again. We hear from your reaction.
Yeah, that's why I
when we
try
see
not to
the-
give up. I didn't
Yeah.
want to give up
Yeah.
specifics. I wanted to comment, but I didn't want to give up specifics. I'll let you
Yeah.
guys kind of touch on that as it comes up.
And now it gets scarier though. 3 minutes. Now 1 or 2 first downs here will end the dreams of the Red Devils.
House party might dodge a big bullet. Oh, damn it. Why do I auto click that? Did it again. I'm all anxious.
They need to keep the ball inside. They did. Did they get the first down there?
No,
No. Okay, huge.
Going to come down to
See-
this drive.
That's
it's in 2
a
minutes.
that goes into a tactics thing because if I was able to call that right, we would always have gone for that, right? 4th and inches, 2 minutes left, you're up by 3, you go for that. Because if you make that conversion, the game's just over, and now they're back in it with a chance.
This is
Good
so
pass,
good.
a little short,
I think it worked out for him though.
but a tackle for a loss.
Oh
is
man, he
not
was just
good.
a little bit quicker there. That's a huge gain.
The big concern is losing a timeout there for free, basically. Because these little dink and dunk passes, not what you need when you're at the end of the game. You need TE
Got to get
drive
into field goal
and
territory at
verticals.
least.
Yeah, at least field goal territory.
But
Big pass, not a converted though.
This
Okay,
is the
TE
kind of
drive,
thing-
this is what you need. But it was a quick dunk off. He didn't wait for wide receiver 1 to open up, which he did do at the end of that play. This is going to have to be a field goal at this point if it's going to be anything.
yeah, that's one thing that I learned from. I think it was either Cavo's video or it was from doing a stream with you, Alex, about the difference between passing and the timing of short pass versus medium pass versus long pass. That's something that I hadn't.
That's a
A
huge
catch here?
completion.
Oh, my goodness.
I
That's what you
hate seeing
needed.
those completions.
Yeah, in the double
That's
coverage, 20
The
yards down the
safety's
field.
on. It's mine is the safety's on top of them. The corner's on top of them. Oh, he's
Long
short.
kick, but did he make it?
No,
No
short.
good.
And there was 14
Oh.
seconds. We didn't have any more timeouts.
No more timeouts though.
That's
yeah,
in a real game though. In a
unfortunately.
real game, you take one more throw to a sideline.
Yeah,
and try to-
one pass to the sideline, 7-yard gain or something like that, and you go for a
Great
field goal
game
then.
though. Great game.
Absolutely.
All right.
More importantly, though, this has larger implications now that the house party came away with a win here, because if the day strippers come away with a win as well, then that house party versus program game has a lot bigger implications than it otherwise would. It suddenly would be for the division instead of wild card.
How is that? Like, I think we beat them earlier on though. So
Yeah,
does
it
it
does
come
come
down
down to points scored, which I
It
don't
does
know.
not do head to head.
It does not take head to head. It goes to points scored at that point.
See, that's
So
crazy.
It does.
Head to head. You would think
I would think the same thing too, all the
yeah,
time.
I think a lot of people have been burned with it over the years for sure.
I have before.
But that said, House Party is the number 3 offense, and I think the program is the number 1 offense. I just would guess. So you'll probably be safe here if it does come to that. Yes, as I will check. The program is the number 1 offense. So you will be winning on points regardless. So they have to beat you, and you still lose one more game for them to take the division. That spin hurt a little bit. He looked really good, though. So this is one thing I think is unfortunate about Gold Line Blitz. We probably should push for this to be implemented because it doesn't make sense, right? In Gold Line Blitz, we don't count forward momentum as when the play is over, right? So that spin for a 3-yard loss, it shouldn't count. It should be, it was a 9-yard run, but for some reason in Gold Line Blitz, it's a 6-yard run, right?
No, that would be correct, because even in real football, if you make the move yourself that causes the loss.
Yeah. It's what I'm talking about, like when a hit happens, right? Like, and you get knocked back 2 yards, it counts wherever you got tackled at instead of where the tackle began at, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. In the case of the spin, though, you are right. It wouldn't count it because he, under his own power, decided
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, that's part of the reason why combo backs or even elusive backs really are taking a little bit of power, right?
Right.
If you're saving a yard or half a yard every time you're tackled, that adds up over a game.
Yeah, how many inches plays do you see where you got hit back a little bit and that was enough? The Cornhuskers have truly put this game away at this point. There is no way back into this for Bay Area's best builds.
Yeah, this is playing right into their wheelhouse at this point. They're just going to grind the game down. Their defense is going to have massive hits. And once we get into the fourth year, you're going to start seeing more fumbles and stuff from Bay Area's best builds.
I haven't tried it.
And now they're getting sacked, yeah.
I'd have to assume the moral's gone at this point.
Yeah, morale's got to be completely shot.
I'm not trying that.
If not the energy as well. Verticals is the right play here, but does it matter anymore? I don't know.
I'm not missing
Yeah,
out.
and he just coughs the ball up.
That is pink.
Yeah, like.
I want to
he
hate
could
on
have
that
taken
thing
that.
so much.
Yeah, he should have taken that all the way outside. If he did, it was an 8-yard gain. Say it was for like 3. That was a little strange.
Was a weird juke with the hold on it.
And
Yeah.
that's why I think when we were talking about earlier, I think his awareness is really low right now.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think a higher awareness back would have taken that to the sideline instead of going through the wide
Unless
receiver
he's
and
an elusive runner on a power setting.
Maybe.
True.
It's possible. Yeah.
Trying to use the spin bonus there, I could see.
Got some good grip on Springfield to take down Captain Caveman like that. First tackler made it happen.
Oh, the
Just a
tactic
bad
otherwise
throw.
would be combo, because we see him go some out, some in. So that's probably more combo style.
All right, another first down here. That's what worries me about the balanced attack I mentioned before. Like sometimes you just call a wrong set of plays in a certain order. But so far in the ground and the pass, Hannah hasn't blown Springfield out of the water, but they can't stop us so far.
It's just a millstone. It's just grinding them down into double coverage, repeatedly triple coverage, catching
Oh, I've tried
everything.
those before.
That's the other thing I've mentioned before about Hanna-Barbera is that every receiver already has 95 plus catching traffic, and 90 hands or more. Which
Yeah, I recognize a lot of these offensive plays in Hanna-Barbera playbook. I call a lot of them myself. Yeah, Springfield having an impossible time stopping Hanna-Barbera and having an impossible time scoring themselves. No, I would love, again, this is mentioned at one point in time. I think Smash Rock was the one that originally brought it up. Ooh, here's going to be a nice, well, I don't think it had more potential than 6 yards, but I would love to see, well, a couple different things. One, I think the way that the game is set up, that we can only do it right now as like a rookie, but like a tournament between like an invitational tournament, because obviously GLB2 isn't gonna do it. But like an invitational tournament, so it'd have to be like rookie teams, like Dr. Edgar, LX and Adder, Cavo, me, Feep, just to name a few. I'd like to get like at least like 8 really top shelf coaches and set up like a rookie tournament. It'd be sweet if we could set it up where you could actually, develop your players a little bit more, and it wasn't
that's what
just.
I was gonna say. I just worry that in rookie, right level 5, like how much can you really differentiate, between anybody else?
Yeah,
and so much just pure RNG based.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any way for us to do it,
Yeah, otherwise there's not much way to do it either. Yeah, I agree.
Unless we had like a group of, and then we wouldn't want to necessarily do it with, well, I guess if we had 8 of us that all started like a season together, then
I think
we could
the
say end of rookie, we have a
unboosted
competition. At the end of sophomore, we have our own thing. I mean, that might be the only way to do it.
I think the no superstar unboosted league is like the closest we'll get to that, right? Like everyone just agrees, to nobody's going to boost, nobody's going to run superstars. And that kind of is in its own way, its own tournament at that point, right? Like it just kind of facilitates itself on its own.
Yeah, that'd be one we'd have to get in the forums, I think, on global Goal Line Blitz, blah, and just tell Corn Dog's little ass, like, hey man, we're all going to join this. Like, we want to be put here together. Maybe he might be able to at least get us there going.
Yeah, it's not like there's at this stage. It's not like there's so much that they have to do as far as developing the game, and it's not like the player base is that huge right now. I mean, it's just like throw us a bone.
Oh, we actually went for it on 4th and 1. You don't see that very often, but devastating.
It's at the end of the half, so just went for it instead of punting. Probably see another deep throw here after this if this doesn't get a touchdown every time it's a handoff. You gotta wonder.
Oh, look at that! First time that Hanna-Barbera has not scored because of the 12th defender this time. The clock.
6 seconds where they can't call a timeout. That sucks.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to see that yet. Let's watch this game and wait on the program.
Just feeling worried still.
I'll come back to it, but I just don't want to watch it right now. Might as well see the end of this game and watch some of the more of the Hanna-Barbera before I have to give my congratulatory speech to Gats.
You're still in there with a shot. It's just it's looking rough.
Yeah, I don't feel good. I appreciate the
Hmm.
pat on the back, but already saw Red Devils, Screaming Red Devils fall short, make a comeback but fall short. This game right here did not turn out as I had expected that it would. It has been pretty one-sided in the Cornhuskers' favor.
What tier are they?
This is pro.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they're pro or not.
Yep. All the 3 1 o'clock games. This was one of the 3 1 o'clock games. Ooh, look at that. Bay Area Best gets on the board. The 3 1 o'clock games were all pro in Dragon League, and they all had playoff implications. It is a little bit crazy that I know this has been talked about in forums, that a superstar, that any halfback, would take on the load that Corey Ross is taking on in this game and still have energy and his legs up underneath him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you'd like to see it addressed, but the repercussions in potentia are so grave that nobody really wants to rock the boat there, right? Like, I think most people are in agreement that this is a problem, but the solutions are pretty scary.
It would mess with the game so much.
I think the best way to do that adjustment is you need to make the harder hitting stuff have a harder impact on the refill conditioning, and whereas the running, you're still consuming your conditioning down, but you're not necessarily hitting your cap quite as hard.
So my question would be too is, does that only affect a running back, or say, like when I build a star defensive end, I'm making sure he's never going to leave the field and be in energy. But if we fix it for the running back, in theory, we should have to kind of fix it for all those dots.
Yeah,
good point.
It's just a huge can of worms.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
exactly,
the thing,
and that's
you can't only fix it for halfbacks, and then it gets
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the hard part and the pain.
I think it's one of those things where, like, if you told me it was coming in 10 seasons, I'm fine, because I'll adjust and I'll have time to like think about what I'm going to do. But because we don't do development like that in goal line blitz, and it's just season to season, like, it's a change that I would be okay with. But because we're never going to get that kind of forewarning, it's a change I'm always going to be against instead, even though I agree with the change.
Right.
Yeah, and we all do play with the same rules, so I mean, we all know, So
Right.
as far as I agree with you, what I'm saying is we should have a head start warning, and at least dealing with it the way that it is. We all know of it, and we all are subject to it, But by switching it now, it would totally screw up people that built their
It would absolutely tank some of the best teams in the game.
Oh,
I mean, it would tank every team in the game that uses stars, basically, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much all the
nobody-
top bet
nobody
teams.
designs stars that don't stay on the field all game long. We don't have the depth on those teams because of how tight they are in salary.
Imagine what happens to Spam-A-Lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Grape Apes. We have 15 or 16 superstars. I forget how many. But
Yeah.
We have no depth on Grape Apes. The entire defense is superstarred, and everybody plays every snap. So that one change just completely invalidates that team forever.
How fast did y'all have to get conditioning as high as possible?
You know, the thing about defense, a lot of people maybe kind of take for granted is you don't actually do as much conditioning on defense as you might think, right? Because if your defense always gets 3 and outs, you don't actually use that much energy.
True.
So we actually survived on like 50 in rookie, and then went up to like 65 in sophomore, and now we're at like 80, and it's been like 80 the whole time, and that's that.
I think 80 for most time. Yeah, you can get away with. I think it ends up being like your corners and your safeties that sprint more long distance. That got it.
Safeties need it more, yeah. But yeah, I think in rookie in particular, you can just go like 50 conditioning and never worry about it again in rookie, even if they're a superstar and they're on the field every
I would
play.
say even less for the defensive line. If you can get away with like 40 and 40.
40 and 40 if you're a normal, but I think if you're a superstar, just get 50 just for the sake of it.
I think I start my dots at 40 no matter what. Day one, put 40 conditioning, and then most of rookie, by end of rookie, they might be 45 or 50.
I am the same
Superstars or
unless they're a
regular
superstar.
dots?
Yeah, for regular dots, I do 40. For a superstar, I'll do 50.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Similar.
I think I do 50 on my 40 to 50 on if I have like depth and I'm able to sub them like lower closer to 40. You know.
Bay Area is just scoring at will now, but it's just too late to matter now.
What they're going to do is they're going to hit their catch-up tactics, and then they're going to stop doing well.
Yeah.
Once again, that's why you don't want to use them. Just try to get yourself right the first time.
Yeah, but with this little time left, they're not going to be able to get caught up.
It's one of those things where the tags have collapsed. The play calls and the tags have collapsed at this point, right, from Nebraska, but, you know, the damage was done.
So playoff-wise, this is interesting. I think the biggest winner of the in this pro tier this week was they helped themselves out was House Party, right?
House Party,
beating,
right? Yeah.
You know, and with the what looks like impending program loss, right? That gives the House Party, they gain ground on like catching up a game on the program, help themselves out on the keeping the minimum, the wild card. Because then the
Nebraska
other 6 and 4
is still
teams
alive as well.
Red Devils lost. No, this helps Nebraska as well. You're right. Yep. The Red Devils lost, and the Babs lost. So the Red Devils should at least stay in first, hopefully, in that Gamma. Look at that play. That was interesting. Shallow cross.
Yeah, if you do lose today, I think that means Nebraska could win out and take the division. I mean, that's very, very unlikely, but, you know, it's a possibility still for them because they're going to win today. If they lost today, they're just out. But they're still mathematically alive right now with this win.
they needed this game. I mean, Babs could lose this game and still win Gamma. Which would knock out the Red Devils. It's looking like it's either going to be Babs or Red Devils from Gamma. I don't think both.
I really hope Babs does win out. I don't need you getting a second crack at me in the playoffs to test ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I also hope for Babs. I hope that happens. The only ones that I hope that doesn't happen for are all the agents with players on the Screaming Red Devils, you know, and for Quad, those guys, they're a great group of guys, and you know they've got players on that team. So, I mean, I hope for them that the Red Devils can make it into the playoffs. But I think for everybody else, I would not be sad to see Babs make it in. We're not going to make it easy for anybody.
that Nebraska Bay Area game, for 3 quarters, it was a pretty good game. And then just in the third quarter, man, Nebraska killed them. But you take that away, and it's like a 21-28 game or something,
Once again, don't run quarterback roll it against us.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, you know what I got to do, actually? Because I might have people from the 3 o'clock game that I promised on. So let me quickly fire that up.
Just a field goal here, I think.
Oh, he still won't watch his own game because he's afraid of seeing the loss.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a 3
Like
Banana
He's really
League.
putting it out, yeah.
He is skipping it, missing it, dodge it.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, come back to this for a minute before going to that game. Wow, in this game, a rare Hanna-Barbera punt.
Did we do a good one at least? No, just into the touchdown. That's the end zone. A shame. A roll out for a loss of 5.
Once again, quarterback rollout.
Yeah,
I knew that Hanna-Barbera is good, but Springfield's like, wow, undefeated at this point as well. So I was expecting a little bit better game out of the Adams.
It just looks like they have absolutely no run defense when it comes to tackling skills.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's just because we have 90 power
level.
running. That's really the.
Yeah. But equally
the
discerning
issue.
is like their offense is.
Well, no, mine is like I get the backs good, but like if I've got a team like Springfield that's been playing against Hannah in the same division and stuff, like same league, even if I design my defense, I'm going to change to make sure I can stop the run since I know I'm going to play that team all the way through vet.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have to change.
At some point, you've got to you can do a lot of things to improve your tackling ability to be, at least he didn't break 25 tackles. He only broke 15.
It's definitely something where, you scout the opponent. You're like, okay, they have a superstar back. Let me open him up. Let me look at his combine. Oh, he's got 46 reps in sophomore. I'm going to need power tackling,
Exactly. Brick wall, something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I agree.
I also think this Hanna-Barbera team. I think Alex is being a little bit modest with we're all about offense. And our defense gets the scraps. I think that they might not be. I think they're a junior version of the Alex Adderfist defenses that we see do so well.
I mean, still
less.
Still a good
You've got
defense.
You've got
Just
less
less
stars,
pieces.
but you figured out how to use those same pieces without stars.
Yeah.
Which you can do. I mean, like you said, you can do that because you can force a bunch of specialists.
And it's one of those things again where we went with stars we did put on the team. We made them corners and safeties because the idea is we have a superstar loaded offense. We're going to get on the board. You need to answer. That means you're going to pass. That means we want to be good against the pass. So. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock game. I remember you saying something about making sure that all the 1 o'clock games we finish up before then, and we're watching right now the 3 o'clock game. So if you could just go to that first tab there.
Yeah. You guys really want to hear me cry on stream, don't you?
Oh no!
Ooh, look at this! Nice run by Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor is a very dangerous back in this rookie season, right? I don't remember what the Graders passing game is like, but I remember Fred Taylor. So
I gotta give GE credit. I mean, he's been around for a long time as well. And he's finally putting it together, taking some advice from other people. You know,
I mean, don't give him too much credit. Have you seen this Tim Tebow build? That should be, yeah, I was going to say, that should be a run all day long in Rookie. They'll give you that every time in Rookie. And Vet, you know, some safety activates closing speed immediately and comes downfield and plows you. But in Rookie, that's an 8-yard gain, 9-yard gain every time.
I'm glad to see him still playing and that he's having as much success as he's having. I would hate to see him get like too good though, because I can remember those years where he wasn't good and his ego was writing checks.
I mean,
that
he
couldn't-
always played the heel, right? He did it amazingly.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He did that. He could have won an Oscar for how well he played the heel.
All the time in the world to throw, and yet it never got rid of the ball. I would say it's one of the things about pass rush in general is that sometimes a quarterback just decides he wants to be sacked.
Yeah.
You know, nothing to do with anything else. This is a quarterback he wants to taste the AstroTurf.
Yep. Excuse me while I just lay down on my back.
I think that's part of the reason speed's so important, and obviously speed is important, but even more important than what you're thinking for a lot of wide receivers. Stuff like that. 3rd and 10, nothing's over the first down marker yet.
They were lucky to hold on to the ball there, though. Usually when you have a group tackle like that, that's a turnover on downs.
All right.
So something that was put in place in like season 6, so a long freaking time ago at this point, is on 3rd down, the quarterback will not throw to a wide receiver until they pass that first down marker.
They've been adjusting that slightly. I've seen more of that in the past 2 seasons than any of the other ones probably combined, where they'll go for a 7-8 yard pass, even though, you know, maybe they need 10, and they just hope that the receiver can make the extra yardage.
So here's a question for you guys, because maybe it was Cabo that did it in his video then, had mentioned about like if you go pass short, right? Say I have 3 different I have a pass short, I have pass medium, and I have pass long. And I put the same pass, let's say tight end, single back tight end post in all 3 of them, right? Does that affect like who the quarterback is going without like prioritizing targets? Does that affect like and the pass short, he's going to look for the shortest one first? Or
I know that the Adderfist believes it does. I've always been on the fence about it. I do know that more pocket awareness will still cause the ball to come out faster in those cases.
So I will clarify, it does come out faster, but that is not due to throwing at distances or in reads I'm not sure about. What it is the read speed of the quarterback increases on the shorter passes. And that's actually something that they've stated in the changelog.
Good play action here.
Yeah, what was before all of that was that, the program had to punt again.
But a 3-and-out answered, though, so
I
not the end of the
believe
world.
that we have only put up, and this is no disrespect to Gats, actually quite the opposite.
No, all the
hella respect to Gats, because
yeah,
this might be the best defensive performance that a team has put up against the program.
I mean, yeah, like I said, the program's like number 2 in rushing yards and number 2 in passing yards. Like, stopping that team is no joke. I mean, this is a team that scored 50 points or whatever it was on the Grape Apes, you know. So to hold them to only 10 so far in 4 quarters is pretty incredible.
How unprofessional of me.
So I would have again, tactics. I think at that point you go for it. 34-yard line, 4th and 3. You probably just go for it at that point. You're down by 11.
Man, we lose this game, which is looking like we're going to. This is 100% on the offense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the defense is
even giving
done
up 21
adequately.
points,
That's okay.
Our offense should be able to put up more than 21 points.
The defense is still holding together so far. Deep pass wide open.
Oh, man.
Devastating.
The commenter's
40
cursed.
yards. Yeah. Just wide open down the field too. I wonder what caused that blown coverage there. A lot of dunk passes though by Gatz. If he could figure out what's causing him to check down so often, he'd be a little bit more dangerous on offense. I think I've seen him check down at least probably about 10 times now throughout this game. All right, it's getting later in the game. The program kind of needs to score on this possession here,
and they're not going to. Man, this is definitely a game that if I was not streaming, I would have rage quit by now. And again, I say that, and it's no disrespect to Gatz. Gatz, I hope you watch this, because total respect for you. Even I should say more respect for you. Even just frustrated because no one likes losing.
I like this game.
Yeah. The thing is now is that even any run that he makes, even if they're completely ineffectual, is plenty fine. It's 40 seconds off the clock every time, So I wish he wasn't even passing right now, honestly. Three minutes ago, you have to think that it's probably not possible at this point. Nope. Especially with them still making outside runs like that.
Thank you, Mom.
Third and 12.
Yeah. I don't even want to score now at the end of this game, because if we end up scoring on our very last drive, that's just like salt in the wound.
So maybe you
score and then you get to the kick and cause a fumble and you get a chance. You never know. It's still close.
William and I had a game where we were down by 7. 3 seconds left, right? No chance we win. We scored a touchdown 50 seconds before that. But then the opponent drives down the field, throws a touchdown pass. We intercept the touchdown pass, return it for a touchdown, and win the game. Never should have happened. But we won off of that. So we could see it right here, right? The game's crazy.
Oh, geez. Oh, so close.
A fumble recovery off of this here. A fumble covers the fumble. Yeah,
this is
that's
just
what I'm thinking.
It's half the dream.
This is God teasing me.
He just wanted to mess with you. Yeah, completely.
I mean, 2 runs though for nothing. You're gonna get the ball back at this point. It looks like play action. Okay, so as long as this play action pass isn't complete. He's wide open, though. Okay.
Batted away.
You got 50 seconds to get down the field. You can do it. It has to be a
Don't
touchdown.
Fumble right here.
Yeah. No interceptions, no fumbles. You have to air it out. Hopefully you have some deep passes. Timeout there is not great, though. Okay, so you have to spike the ball. T-drive is the perfect play. Throwing it kind of quick.
Maybe the worst throw, though.
Yeah. But driving, play action scissors is not the right play here. Okay, 1 second.
What's...
No, not
what
a
run. Horrible call with 1 second left.
It looked completely possible.
Wow, that game turned out better than I thought. Congratulations, Gads. Great game. You've done, not trying to be all cocky and conceited and such, but you've done what a lot have not been able to do so far in the program's history.
I've never beaten the
well-deserved
program
victory, my friend.
in
Well-deserved
the
victory.
regular season. So beating the program in the playoffs, but never in the regular season. So a big win for Gads.
What?
That was a great game. Yeah, I have to think that Quick Draw McGraw, despite being a superstar quarterback, probably throws more incomplete passes to nobody than he has passes that aren't caught. Does that make sense?
I think that's probably right.
Like, as long as he gets the ball near the receiver, it's usually a completion, but he has trouble getting it in their area for some reason. 2nd and 14, going to the ground. Could be a 6-yard run. Yeah. Just completely held us on that one.
Throw everything into double coverage. Got to let them have some of them once in a while, right?
I mean, our punter today has just not been on the mark.
Going to players.
Yeah.
This is looking a lot like the Rift game where we tried screens. Just stuck with an idea and they didn't quite work out.
Ooh.
This is so good.
Oh,
Well, bye.
did we get it back?
I'm good, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid power backs and their fumbles. FL Hitch might be my favorite play in the game right now.
I got to start going back to that. There was a time where I used it a lot, then less so. But I think now that great play, especially for a quarterback with was that sideline bomb?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. That's another thing too. We decided we could have gone with an elusive back or a power back for this team because neither one would have really messed with the concept. But we did a power back, and the reason why is because every run you make on a power back where you break tackles, right? That's just making it easier for your passing game to function as well.
Makes them
right?
exhausted, wear them down.
Exactly. You're right on the same script as me, you know. So the power back also facilitates our passing game being better as well.
Hey, question for you guys:
Watching-
do any of you coach like real life, like youth, or maybe even as high as high school level? Football?
I have in past. That's where my master's degree is in.
Yeah, and I do not. I know.
Oh wow! Because my
I don't
son,
know.
I have an 11-year-old son. He's going to be 12 in November. He just yesterday he had his NFL flag football combine, right? So they can for Maine Flag Football League, so they can kind of try to divvy up the teams and make them players and make more balanced teams. So I was just kind of wondering, like, so they had him do like the 40-yard dash, and I want to have Matthew start to do some work on his own, so I was wondering what a really good 40-yard dash time would be.
You said he's what age?
11, going to be 12.
11, 12. What's his kind of his height, weight?
Matt, how tall are you? Do you know off the top of your head?
5'1".
5'1", and your weight? 110.
5'1", 110. I mean, the thing is with kids at his age, like my master's is in strength and conditioning. So I can train anyone from a toddler to a pro athlete, and specifically for, actually this topic.
Nice.
And when you get into that, I mean, that can vary so much because sprinting really is a true combination of strength and speed. He may not necessarily have the power output to be a high sprinter right now. I've I'll be right back, guys, and I'll explain that more too.
Cool. Sweet. Sorry to take the chat in another direction, but
Oh, no worries.
So going back to the Florida Gators game here, GE managed to post some stuff here about how running on the quarterback works along with power through, and apparently you're able to have on the run fire and then power through fire, and then on the run will re-kick in again immediately.
I did see
Interesting
his
to know, at
post.
least. And also, as a quick by the by, I'm going to send you a PDF here that has some breakdowns about what you're asking about, just so you have some.
Oh, thank you.
Some-
Because I'm
some
trying to
data.
come up with some stuff that I can work with him on to help him
Mhm.
develop as a player, because he, like, football right now is flag football right now is like the only sport that he does.
Yeah.
He does outside season, and he does like 3 indoor sessions.
But it looks like anything under 5.4 is pretty up there.
Under 5.4. Okay. Matt, what did you say your time was for the 40 when you did it at the combine? 6:11.
Okay. Yeah, 6'11" would be for his age. You can see the breakdowns here for it. It was on their 40-yard, you said?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's got to do a little bit more, probably strength training, like Dredgar was saying, it looks like.
All right. Cool. I will yeah, we'll have to work on that. Give him some stuff that he can do, because says he's serious about it. He likes it, so we'll see. But
Ooh, big
he
interception.
wants to go to the next level. He's gonna have to work a little bit harder.
I'm back. You said your son what is he like? 5th grade, 6th grade?
Going into 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that age, if he could get a 5.5, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, we just said he got a 6.11 at the combine. So we got a little bit of work on him.
6'11". Yeah, and it's really easy to train for something like that and to improve at his age. And that's one of the things, is getting stronger will help a ton. But at his age, part of that's just doing sprints.
That'd be
Is that
good
a
for him, because he's a little bit soft right now.
Is that
But
a screen or like a halfback flat?
the big one I would start with is get him to do sprints, but don't focus on the full 40 yards.
Okay.
Focus on you can do sprints from just worrying on the first 5 yards, just worrying on the first 10, and probably the first 20. Because the truth is, I love football. Football, very rarely do you ever actually get to full speed in a game. Because to get to full speed, anyone needs to get to that 40 to 60 to 70 yards. So the most important factor gets into how quick are they? How fast can they get to top speed? Almost as more important.
Yeah, because from watching the combine, he was kind of like in the middle. I didn't see all the data, but just watching the kids go through it, he seemed to be kind of in the middle, maybe the top of the middle. There were kids faster than him. There were a lot of kids slower than him.
Yeah, you're going to see a huge variety in that age group. You're going to see some of those kids that their dads said they're going to be the best, they're going to be a quarterback. The truth, they'll be phenomenal athletes young, and they'll actually top out at their best ability they'll ever have at an early age, which is kind of one of the unfortunate sides of it, because they're only doing one type of skill versus develop their entire body at a young age.
The Pirate Lab has a great passing attack going on right now.
Yeah, this has been a good game.
Ooh.
The
That
Raiders
is the third
almost
interception
scored,
of the game
and now
in the first quarter.
the Pirate Lab coming down, and they throw an interception in the end zone to keep the game scoreless. Such a good game. I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats and finish up this. At least get this Adams and Hanna-Barbera game to the fourth quarter before switching back to the Graders and the Lab. Yeah, cool, Dr. Edgar. I will, if you don't mind, sometime I'll chat you up in Discord if you don't mind if I send you some more questions.
No, absolutely no. That's like that gets into my absolute favorite thing to talk about all day.
Sweet.
You would be surprised how many athletes you see go to college, Division One or Division Two. One of the funniest things to do to athletes, and these are guys that physically are impressive as can be. They'll do 40-yard dashes that blow your mind, but yet they'll be so unathletic at the same time, if that makes sense. Because
Yep.
you'll be like, hey man, skip for me 20 yards. And the way some of them will skip, like you're like, are you retarded? Like, what are you doing? Because they've never been taught how to properly run or to properly jump. And reason most injuries happen anymore with kids is they're not taught how to properly change direction and keep balance.
Yeah, Matt needs to work on that a little bit. He's pretty good. I mean,
And that's something really easy to teach. Like to keep balance and not be off. And it's funny, we talked about even in Global League how they made the balance change and we saw people falling everywhere. And it's kind of that same concept.
the big thing we got to work on with Matthew. We took him to physical therapy, but we didn't follow up with it as good as we should have. He is a toe walker.
That can be an advantage when it comes to running, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. But we worry about him long-term damage.
Because you got to stay on your balls of your feet even when you're changing direction. So if he does that walking, that in theory should do amazing for him when you're talking about running and sprinting.
I think that helps
But
him
it's
be
like
as fast as he is. But we're worried about his
changing
muscles
direction, blowing it.
tighten, getting too tight in the future, and like pulls and strains.
You can,
and
yeah, and it'd be curious. There's always some data on those stuff out there. Oh, why are we still watching Barbaric just abuse these poor guys?
Because if we're going to stream a game, I want to stream the whole game for anybody that might watch it. Like I said, otherwise I would have rage quit on the the program game a long time ago.
Now we're getting into the area where we're just going to start running the ball nonstop.
I mean, I do feel a little bit guilty because I selfishly took you down asking you those questions about football and my son, but I'm not a professional streamer, and I do this for me as much as I do for our watchers. So I guess I'm not going to apologize too much. I will acknowledge it, but
they'll be all right.
Curious too. The other day, I kind of talked you into watching the Grape Ape game on top of I want to say it was the program game, and you only intended to do the program game. I want to say it was, and you did the other one anyway because you wanted to break it too, and then you kind of got like a 10-minute one instead of an hour-long one. So I was gonna go ahead and subscribe to your channel as like a thank you, but it doesn't seem like I can do that yet. At least if I can, and I don't see where to do so.
On the Twitch, are you talking about, or on YouTube?
Yeah, on Twitch.
There should be just a little button that says subscribe.
I would have.
There is a follow button, but not
there
a subscribe.
is a follow button, which I have you followed, but does not have a subscribe button.
What's the temperature?
Do you have a I wonder, do you have are you just watching it on Twitch, or did you create a Twitch account?
I have an account.
Are you logged in right now?
I'm not logged in right now, but
I've been logged in.
Yeah, I've been logged in before though, and it's not there. I'll log in just in case, just see if it for some reason wasn't on there earlier, but I don't think it was.
Thank you very much. This Graders game and Pirate Lab game thus far has been a good game.
It has been a good game. Probably one of the better ones. We've had a lot of good ones today, actually. It's just this.
Hey,
Hannah
can you
one.
hit the plays tab on this game so we can see what play they're
Yes.
calling?
Oh,
Too?
sorry about that. Yeah, I usually have that up.
It was up earlier and then it kind of went away for some reason. I don't know what caused it to.
Yeah.
And both teams have been in their red zones and have had some
Yeah.
field goal attempts, and heck, the lab had a pass in the end zone intercepted.
Alexa, what's the temperature?
Yeah, that hurt.
Is GE actually using a man defense?
Yeah, he's gone full rookie meta this season. He's trying to win rookie.
Wow.
I wish him the best of luck. I don't know if he's going to be able to take both Kavoth and myself since he has to deal with both of us.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, because I can tell you now, he's never won a rookie in his entire time.
He won a rookie against like Cyber Ninja and CPUs like a few seasons ago.
Oh.
But yeah, otherwise no real rookie.
Yeah, again, like I have these mixed feelings when it comes to GE because again, he's persevered. He does bring stuff to the community. So obviously, I want to see him be successful. But at the same point in time, I went through those years when he wasn't that good and he was just cocky and arrogant and
oh my God, there were some of those years. He thought he was the greatest thing that ever was, and you were like, "Dude, you can't beat any of us. What are you talking about?"
I mean, I came to his defense sometimes because it just like he kept just running his mouth to the point where it's just like it would make the other guys just like fire back and so I worry if he gets overconfident again, that we'll see the old GE. I much like the newer, improved, more mature.
I think he's older and wiser now. He's
Oh, there was years he would talk so much shit. I can remember I wouldn't game plan for a game in a month, and then I'd have him on the thing. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I game plan against this. I'm not just gonna beat him. I'm gonna destroy him.
That's actually been my go-to. Is I want to talk shit to people when I can get away with it because I want people to game plan for me.
Right.
So it's kind of been a.
I used to even look at.
Try to get away from the normal games where you don't have to game plan or do anything for 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Alex, because I kind of noticed that like when I was first got to talking to you and such, before like we had really talked and got to know each other, I had sent you like an email, and I might have even done my kind of fatherly teacher kind of thing that I kind of do, and just been like, not putting you in your place, but kind of like being the shepherd of GLB2. And
why
like,
you gotta be so
came
mean?
back with a nice email, and I was just like, oh, wait a minute, this is totally not the same tone as he was taking in the forums,
Yeah, I try to tell people all the time that like me in voice is not the same me you're going to see on the forums or on the Discord. But yeah, I mean that was why I wanted to trash talk Rob. Right? It doesn't come out of any necessarily form of malice. I just want to get the best version of you that I can get. So if I make you mad, you're going to want to beat me, and then
Well, you must have figured you were already getting my best because you didn't talk trash to me. So
yeah, well, I figured taking a few championships away from you over time has kind of sown the seeds of rivalry without me having to say anything.
We have a great rivalry going on, a great one. Oof. One thing I'm glad that's not in this game, because that would just like be horrible, is like injuries, like in Madden.
Oh God.
In some ways, I'd love to see them, but it would have to come it had to be like linked to like your toughness stat, and even then, I see people's like aversion to them, right? Who wants to lose their quarterback for a season because he took a bad sack, and
Yep.
you know,
They would have to
And
put in some type of trade about it.
yeah, a trait or some kind
A
of hard
skill.
rule, like you can't lose them for longer than this much time, no matter what, or something
3
like that.
games, something like that.
Yeah,
the
I
Raiders
think
are
that
on the
would,
board with a field goal.
nice. I think that
Did-
would be a
Were
fair
either one of you
way
here
to
when
deal
T
with
Diddy was a
superstars.
big deal? I know
T.
Adder
Diddy.
was.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I've been around. I don't think I've been
I thought you
around
were
quite
too.
as long as you have,
I thought you were.
but I've been around for a while.
No, I thought you had, and that's man. He was one of those. He would talk the most shit, and then he had to lose.
Yeah.
And all he had was the biggest excuses on the planet. Like, okay, you didn't game plan. Hey, look, we've all done that. Oh no, this messed up in this. Wait, what? Like, that ain't got no correlation.
Yep.
But I would like to see more realism come into the game, though. Just it has to be a slow process, right? I think a lot of people get into a mindset like, I want the game to change this way, and I want it to change now. But that's not really how it'll ever happen, right? Like, you're going to have to get, like, you have to break it up into pieces, right? I want this to happen, but I'm going to do it over, like, these 2 or 3 changes, and that's how we're going to get there. Because, like I said, I want the quarterback to throw the ball away. It makes no sense to watch a quarterback eat 3 sacks on 3 plays, right? It would never happen, you know? Like, they should throw the ball away. Because an incomplete pass is way better than 6-yard loss, right? But we
Or a
never see it.
fumble.
Yeah, exactly. But we never see it.
It'd have to
Yeah,
be
the only thing I worry about
loaded
that
like
though.
an extra receiver or something in the reads after so many times. Just throw it deep or do that if not everybody's covered. But then
Just
you
like
lose
that.
all the catching trafficked wide receivers too, and that causes a lot of issues.
How often though do we really have sacks that are necessarily like he held the ball for 5-6 seconds and then got sacked instead of throwing it away?
It
Most of them are
happens
like
a bit often.
it's 2-second sack. It's maybe a 3-second sack.
I agree, but those are the ones that, if anything, should be the ones that he does throw the ball away on, right? Like, you know, your coverage is below, your protection's blown, you get the ball out of there, you know, try again next play kind of thing.
But I guess
sacks,
you'd have to be rolling out.
Yeah, especially the throwing the ball away. That might actually fix rollout tactics for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just think
people
there's a
would do
way
it more.
there's a way to link it to skills we have in place, right? Like a tough quarterback should be like a Ben Roethlisberger, like I'm just going to sit in the pocket. I don't really ever throw the ball away. I'm going to try and make things like that makes sense, right? Like you have a shed sack.
That's Nebraska.
You know, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, you know, these quarterbacks who have 25, 30 toughness and, you know, they're just like a touch passer. Like, yeah, they throw the ball away like all day, you know?
Right. Yeah. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they got rid of that ball. They didn't give a damn.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, and it's more so, it's like, it's what you allow the game to do once you do that. Once the quarterback will throw the ball away, then you can take away throwing into to 3-man coverage. Once you can do that, then you can try and implement timing routes, right? It's like, it's always building on something, but you have to have that first step.
We don't have enough big deflections and interceptions in like triple coverage, even hell, half the double coverage. Sometimes we just don't have enough. I think there's even then too much catching traffic at times, but I know, you said, what do we do? Because if we fix that, then what? Completion percentage drops to 40% on all the quarterbacks, and then we're screwed.
Yeah, it has to be bits and pieces, right? Because
exactly.
A lot of that comes down to builds, though, too, and the way that corners interact with the ball when they have coverage over the top.
So this is why I've been pushing for man corners to be worse since I came back into the game, right? And they're still not there yet. I'm going to push them to get worse again this offseason. But currently, speed corners are a bit better than they used to be, but still not good enough. Speed corners still do not burn man cornerbacks. And until that happens, catching traffic will always be the right choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so hard to discern that.
With.
It's so hard to discern that because, I mean, you really got to be able to look at builds, you know, I mean, because are the builds, the like cornerback versus wide receiver, are they truly like comparable, or is it a lesser cornerback build against a better wide receiver build, or vice versa? You know,
I mean,
Well,
you
that-
can have 35 speed cornerbacks with coverage expert covering 70 speed wide receivers and not get burned. So
Yeah, it's just one of those
now
things.
I'll say I've never seen a 35 speed corner
I have 35 speed corners.
that are
on
man
my-
cover guys.
Yep. I don't have a cornerback to my name with more than 50 sprinting. And
it's almost would be
But
cool,
even
like
that-
if you had two teams in the same tier, and the idea was like, you know, either you own both teams or like you own a team and whoever you're doing the experiment with own the other team, and it's like, okay, let's build like these kind of in tandem so we can actually look at data like if
Right.
that would be kind of neat.
yeah, I don't know.
'Cause
It's good.
There's even that though. Man corners, when you talk about compared to even a really good built catching traffic guy, I've built a corner that, 100 man awareness, 100 deflection, could be there every play. And sure, he only allowed 45% of his throws to him, which is great. But it was like, there were so many of them where I'm like, yo, like, why did the receiver drop that pass when he was 2 steps away? He could have caught that. But then you get the same play where the corner's there before he is and yet can't make a play on it. And you're like,
Yeah. I just think that in general, like, especially in triple coverage, right? Like, triple coverage, if you throw into that should be like 75% interception rate, right? Like, it should be, you just don't do this because the repercussions are obvious, and we don't see that in the game. And once we had that,
without a doubt.
people would start building differently, right? Right now, on my teams, I build every receiver on my team the same way. Why do I do that? Well, because consistency is all that matters, and catching traffic is all that matters. What you should have is a slot receiver. You should have a stretch the field receiver, because those pick at different parts of the defense. I need wide receiver 1 to be screaming down the field because I need to pull that safety out away from this underneath guy. But that's not how goal line blitz works, right? Like, everybody just makes a catching traffic roll and that's it.
I don't know. I think,
Right.
Dr. Edgar, a question for you, because you've been around for a long time as well. It feels to me like there's more diversity in builds, and like not just like good builds, bad builds, but I mean like viable builds. Now than there has been in the past, in my experience. What are your thoughts?
I completely agree on that one because I think I was mentioning that to someone else recently, that there's definitely, I've seen a lot more builds that look, one that like when I look at them, like, this is fucking worthless. Why would you do that? They perform just the same as what one of mine does. I definitely see that a lot, even in the running backs specifically. That's a huge variety. That it's definitely a bigger variety than what we used to. We used to have a lot. The top guys all had very similar builds, except for 1 or 2 little tiny spots. But now, like you said, looking at what was Elix, your team we just watched with that back, you were talking about your receivers have 90 hands, 100 catching traffic already. So immediately, like, my thought was, oh, they must have 35 sprinting.
Yeah, less.
Yeah, right. And that's one I'm like, I've kind of always went almost to at least 50 on my receiver because I want him to get to the spot of the throw at least faster. But like you said, I want him I don't care. I just need him to make the catch.
Right.
But and that's that, figuring it out. I think that's part of the game because I'd be curious if somebody could actually get really high pressure on you. Does it result in you take more sacks because your guy can't make the throw because your receiver's not there? But
so I would say the answer to that is absolutely right, but that comes down again to team scheme, right? Like, I have a power back. So if you blitz me and I run instead, you're potentially opening yourself to a world of hurt,
But yeah, looking at exactly, I'm like, okay, but your arch nemesis would, like you said, would almost be RFI. Like if you played that defense, it may be a hurt for you. But like you said, that's the one I've noticed too, to answer even your question more, was like, the build we're seeing in vet right now. This is the first vet season I've seen in a long time where we have this many teams really all the top 10 that, like I said, you see Southside, I beat Riff, and then turned around and got destroyed by Aztec.
Yeah, I mean the top 5 teams at Vet now, it's not a joke. Like they all can beat each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a killer's gallery in Vet nowadays, and it's gonna continue to be. You know, Program and Grape Apes are coming, Bay Area Best, but like the game has just gotten better. And I don't want to credit that to Academy necessarily, but like people are getting smarter and more learned about like all aspects of the game, right? Like the level of competition is increasing. So
All right,
yeah,
on that
I'll be
note,
right
guys,
back.
I'm gonna hop out. Have a good rest of your stream. Enjoy your game.
yeah.
Is that
Thanks for
Adderless
having me,
leaving us?
being here. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Adderless.
sure am.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. See you in the
Yeah,
future, my
absolutely.
friend.
Had a good time. I'll catch you on the next one.
Take care.
Yeah.
Good.
I do think that build variety is increasing, but I think it's increasing from kind of the same pool of coaches, which I would like to see that change a little bit. And also, you mentioned halfbacks. I think halfbacks is what we should basically balance every other position off of, in the sense that, like, with a halfback, when I go to build a halfback, I truly sit down and I go, okay, it's a halfback. I can do anything. Anything I want, I can do it. And I know if I just build it right or well, it'll work, right? I have that like power. But you don't get that with almost any other position in the game, right? You can't go like, I'm going to build a receiver with 100 receiving awareness and like these other skills and neglect hands and things are going to be okay. You know, like that doesn't work. But you could do weird stuff like that with a halfback and it's going to be fine. I wish we could get to that with every position.
It was a good game in the second half. GE's Florida Greeters are up by 2 field goals. One
Yeah, this is
score,
going to really
basically.
sting for Feep if he loses this game by 7 because he had that end zone interception.
Yes.
Okay, I'm back again. Sorry.
Veep's not a slouch
Welcome
of a
back.
coach either. He's a really good. When he plans, for the big games, he's
I've shouted him out repeatedly as a
Who are we talking about?
Feep.
Feep.
As a coach that's more dangerous than maybe he lets on. It's just
Oh, yeah. If he's got the time, I've seen him like 1 or 2 seasons where he game planned every game. And like you said, he can be tough if he.
and then obviously he does great work for the community in terms of just expanding our knowledge about how the game works. It looks like, though, if the graders are able to score off of this drive, that might seal the deal with how the game's
Yeah,
been.
that would put it at 2 scores. So has GE revealed what his next version of Tim Tebow is going to be? I know he mentioned it in chat.
It's something that I don't think will work, but it's essentially 80 power running and 80 drop back power, trying to hit like I suppose the sweet spots of both of them. But I think unfortunately for him, both of those 2 skills we kind of know, right? Like the more points you put into them, the better they are, and the 80 is kind of the point where they start to work at all,
They're just too expensive to me to do both on a
Right.
quarterback.
Especially if he's
Exactly. I
going to
think
throw the
either
ball.
one. Yeah,
Now,
I
if
think
he's the
either
running
one by
quarterback-
themselves.
Although
He
when
is
you
a
put
running
drop back
quarterback.
power on a running quarterback,
Yeah. I mean, the benefit you will have is that you'll be able to run play actions better, which could be dangerous for you. But
yeah,
at
he
the same
does like
time,
his play actions.
80 dropback power is the point where you're going to shed 1 sack maybe, but will you shed 2 or 3 like you oftentimes see on a play action? I'm not
Minus
sure.
how much conditioning, because he's going to have some sprinting, even if you're talking 35. You're talking about how much conditioning you would have to be able to break all those tackles too, and to keep going nonetheless. Like you said, when you get in needing to pass the ball, I just don't see that far of his style viable.
Yeah, I really just wish he went with 100 power running or 95 power running or whatever it was and didn't do the drop back power. I think he'd be a much better quarterback then. But
Is Tebow? Yeah, Tebow has to be a superstar if he's putting those numbers in there and still having.
Yeah, he is.
Because I can't think of any way of doing it on a non-star quarterback to be a true dual
No,
threat.
not. I mean, if you did, you would get into that argument that me and Elix were having the other day about, how much pass technique are you going to have? Because then how much accuracy? But then
Right.
it even extends to the other numbers. Like, okay, how much of any of the other numbers are you going to have? Nonetheless, technique or even awareness to avoid anything.
I mean, I think the benefit of drop back power is you don't need pocket awareness at that point, so that's nice. But that's
See, and that's
the
minus.
cheapest.
Minus, I think
skill
you still
anyway.
would want the pocket awareness to know maybe don't always just try to break the sack because I've seen it. Dream Team did it a couple times. Him and Viper both have done these break sack quarterbacks. They're impressive as can be, but it's like once you hit vet, they kind of quit breaking tackles and started getting their ass destroyed.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Something about the tackling on the defensive line finally gets good enough.
And that's what I think, honestly,
Breeders' defense
even
is
for me.
eating up the lab right now.
Yeah.
G's always done one thing well. He's always had pretty good defense.
Yep. Yeah. I guess I was going back on the dual threat quarterback, like a non-star dual threat quarterback. In one of our other streams, someone was talking about. I forgot who had done it. I don't think it was Czars. Maybe it was Czars. But
No,
where they did the fast wide receivers, sent them on like streaks or whatever.
It's Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley, yep. And then had the
Bo Diddley. That was the
scrambling
same team he did
quarterback.
the break. Hey, and I'll be honest, until that team was a pain in the ass because
Absolutely.
had a team in that tier. We'd hit him almost every play for a sack and then miss it, and then he'd throw a 40-yard turnaround catch. I think that was the first time ever I had my D lineman power tackling up all the way before we hit pro because it was just a pain.
This game has been a lot closer than the score suggests, I would say.
Well, it was, except for the second half. The first half was tight, and now the second half has been like all GE and the greeters. And even more so now, like 2 back-to-back touchdowns.
Oh, well, now it's over off of that. If he held him to a field goal, maybe, but a touchdown there is game winning for sure.
Yeah, the greeters have looked great, both on offense and on defense. I do have to say, I am so grateful that you guys joined me today because had I tried to do 3 hours by myself with the volume of these games without your guys' commentary, um, I would be exhausted right about now. But because of the great conversations we've had and the great games that we've got to watch, I'm feeling pretty good, except for my loss, which I almost forgot about.
Right. Yeah, that.
Holy third quarter, Batman. I wonder, again, no disrespect to GE, not intentional anyways. I got to wonder if this
Always.
was one of those games that Feep did not plan for.
So I can tell you historically, Feep doesn't do any game planning for rookie, right? Like he might in like a championship game or something like that, but like, game to game, like Feep does not game plan a rookie.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot.
Huh. You know, it's going to be funny. In the past, when I've done streams, right, I usually try to like split them up, right? So like when I post them, people can just watch their game. This is going to be one 3.5 hour stream.
Yeah.
I certainly, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. But when school starts back up, I'll just be doing the stream team. So that stuff probably won't be like any games won't be like live games. They'll be like what me doing them after the fact, because I'll be in school all day during the week. But I'm hoping to kind of capture some of what we talked about in team, like building a team, you know, building players for the team, and all of that for. Because I think with the content, there's beginning to get a great amount of content. We're building a library of content for players. I don't know that there's anything out there yet on documenting how to build a team and how to build players for the
Yeah.
team, and you know, like scouting and building, you know, um, playbooks and tactics that you know work together to do what you want to do. Um, so that's going to be the
You know,
focus of my streams when that next season
I
starts
think your
up.
streams are great for that because it is, you know, it's a lot to type up. It doesn't feel like it's complicated to explain it, but like you said, if you try to type this up, it ends up being such lengthy, long, crazy posts that it's easier for
Yeah.
someone to follow a video.
Yep, and also too, I mean, it can be some heady stuff, you know, where if you want to, the beautiful thing about video, I use video a lot in my teaching, is like you can hit the pause button, you can hit the rewind button, you can rewatch it as often as you want, you can, you know, it's got both the video and the audio component to it. I mean, I really think it's like the new wave of teaching. Um, So that's my goal, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to, you know, call on you guys and you know have you share your wisdom as well because I'm only
I will
one
tell you,
perspective.
if you remind me, usually, because I own two businesses at this
Okay,
point,
put
and
it in the trash.
I run them, my wife and I both, so I don't have tons of time. But at this point, I actually will have tons of time on like starting on Monday and Tuesdays. I'm at one of my businesses like right now. That's where I disappear to go like help a customer. So I'll have Monday and Tuesdays where I can probably do quite a bit.
Yeah, for me, once school starts up during the work week, I would have to be like in the evening, you know, not too late, obviously, because I got to go to bed early to get up early to go to school. But and I'm working during the day. But I definitely would be flexible, you know, if it meant being able to, you know, bring you guys in, bring other people in for different perspectives and you know shared knowledge. Um, I'd definitely be flexible in scheduling time, and the more people we get to kind of pitch in, you know, what what's to say, more hands makes it work easier or whatever.
All right, who wants to make a bet though? G makes a post in Discord today about how his Gators team's so good.
Oh,
Man,
that's coming for sure.
I don't know. Come on.
Oh, there will be. I'm gonna say with the over under on GE posts of like good plays from this game. I'll set it aggressively at over under at 3. He'll have so three's the
I,
number. I'm gonna say
I
that's
was
like
saying at least two.
so you're gonna take the under. If I set it at 3, you're gonna take
Yeah,
the under.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take the
Yeah,
under.
I take the under.
Yeah, I'm not going to
I
take
really
the
want to
over.
take
I'm not going to take the over. There was a reason why I set the over under at 3 because I think we all agree 2 is probably the number we're all thinking from him.
Yeah,
He
it
might do
is.
3, but that's why I see over under. Because 2 is a pretty easy guess that that's what he's going to go for. I think at least 2,
Yeah,
and
no
he should
way.
be
There's not
proud.
at
He
least
should be
two.
proud of their performance. If this was my team, and this performance against the FEEP team, even a possibly unplanned for game, I would still be very happy with this performance. Much more so than my program's performance.
Yeah, you gotta figure out that offense. Didn't
Hey,
do
man,
good.
don't feel bad. That's been Southside at vet for me. First time doing a zone defense. So many times I'll call something, and I'm like, that's not what that's supposed to do at all.
Kind of. Not caught dribbling, but like I know how to dribble.
So as much of a I don't want to say how I want to say this hard time sometimes that I give GE. I have a ton of respect for him. Well, not a ton. I have a lot of respect for him. And like I tease him.
You
I
can't even get it together for. Go
but
ahead.
I am happy that he's having success. He is a good guy. I have to go back and edit
Oh,
that
I think he's insanely important to the game.
now.
I
Yep.
have to say, he's so important for the game because if he creates such even if it's against him, he creates such an energy that people want to play just to beat him to make him shut up.
Yep. I know. I remember. I mean, I know you remember too. Like we talked about earlier, how there was that stage where
Oh,
he just drove
geez.
everybody crazy. But then he left the game, and I think he was truly missed. I know I missed him.
Oh yeah, no, because he had you click the forum at least once every day just to see what bullshit he posted.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, there's some guys like I heard both of you guys mention William 78 earlier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's hilarious is he's actually how I got my coaching started.
Wow.
He had his old team that it was back when Hayro had a really big, it's like season 8 or season 6. Hayro had a really big running team. There was no Global 2 Scout. So this was actually Texas Steve's team was destroying everybody with the quarterback rollouts and halfback sweeps from goal line. And I can remember he was like, "You want to do defense?" And I'm like, "Sure." Hell, I had to get out pen and paper to scout
I can
back
remember
then.
those days.
I remember pen and paper days. Those were really good days.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I beat, I think, Hayro's team because he had one of those goal line halfback sweep teams. And I remember setting the style of defense to beat it because I spent like 4 hours going through film of people's different games and was like, oh, look, this will stop it.
I remember those days. You brought up Texas Steve. Texas Steve. He was my first championship it was a rookie season campaign, and it was zebra on defense.
Guys,
The
get
meta
out of
was
here.
zebra, right, and zero edge blitz, and on offense
Oh,
it was
geez.
tight end spam. So I just studied what he did and did it, kind of copied it, but did it a little bit better, and beat him at his own game.
Him and
Congratulations, Florida Greeters.
the Madden coach was the guy that did stuff with him, who was a completely different person, was a phenomenal coach too.
Yep. Well, there we have it. In the books. Another great stream. Thank you guys very much for joining in. I look forward to continuing to do this in the future. Hopefully, we'll get between the live Twitch streams and me putting the archived Twitch streams on YouTube and posting them on the forums. Hopefully, we'll get some more active GLBers to play and I'm gonna party when we get our first. If we ever get some people from Twitch that have watched it and be like, "Hey, this looks kind of cool," you know. I mean, I'm trying to sell it. The thing is, we got to get people to watch the streams, to try to bring in some new blood and regrow this back to the glory days, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But even if it never reaches the glory days numbers, I still think it's helping to keep our small community alive. So, and I enjoy it thoroughly getting to work with guys like you. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care. Talk to you later.